You're so expressive, Hamza.
Fuck you.
When computers think they know what we want like that. Come on, computers, let us decide.
Fucking sort it out, computers. Stupid
Help
technology.
Yeah. What'd you say, Hamza?
I said help computer.
Oh.
Because you know what'll happen? We'll fucking trust the computers too much.
Oh, you
And
didn't
then-
understand my reference. Fuck you.
I didn't. No.
Well, you stopped me before I made a hilarious reference to the AI computer in Captain Planet, so you've ruined... We've both lost something, haven't we?
I was trying to make a G.I. Joe reference, help computer, and Holmes was like, dirt. I don't understand.
I'm a computer. I'm a computer.
Right.
No, it's both. Help computer. I'm a computer.
I thought it was... Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know the full range of the reference. Sorry.
Well, there you go. Hamza and I have both missed out, so now it is up to you, Jonathan, to save this segment with a fantastic cartoon reference.
We're not really... You're not going to use this in the show, are you? This is some good talk.
This is Radio Gold. What are you talking about?
Good cartoon reference, huh?
Immediately.
Okay. I love to sing about the moon and the June and the spring. I love to sing about a sky of blue or a tea for two. You know that one?
Yeah, that'll do.
I love it too. I love it too.
No, that was plenty.
Oh, all right. I just kept wanting to do it.
Yeah, we're okay. I want to stop you.
I can't see why you would.
For no good reason. Pure myopic nastiness.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. It's just kind of worthless for me to just sing to you a song that was sung by Owl Jolson. Get it? Not Al Jolson, mind you. Owl Jolson.
So, speaking of old songs, I love how someone sent you guys videos of worms up people's asses.
Oh yeah, that was fun.
I would watch those videos.
Yeah, that's... I've discovered a new mental problem I've got. It's a new one, where if Jonathan Holmes won't do something, I immediately want to do it. I don't know what that is.
I'm glad I wasn't included on this, because that would have sucked.
You're not on the Podtoid email yet, Hamza?
No.
Oh, you'll get on there.
I will have to...
No. I should add myself then. I forgot we had a Podtoid email.
Yeah, we get a fair amount of...
Adding yourself to it is essentially like moving into the poltergeist house.
So you didn't do a review, listener question post?
Nah. Couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, when that happens...
I want to talk about the worms, though.
Okay, yes, please.
Right, because we got this email, and like I say, I saw it, because I've been seeing links to worms all week, because of our audience, and I ignored them all, because I'm like, well, I'm sure it's funny, but right now, too busy. I'm always busy. And I was too busy when I saw the email about the worms, and then the second Jonathan Holmes said, I'm not clicking that, without even thinking, I clicked it. And I don't know what that is. I summarized it. I was trying to think why this is, and I think it's because, when you make a moral choice in a video game, and you save the game before you do it, so you can do both choices, I think I'm going down the dark morality path of your life. And that in about 5 years' time, if your life were a video game, I will be the bad ending. I think that's what we're going with this. So if there was a video game of Jonathan Holmes' life, it would be, press Y to click the worm link, press B to close the email down, and I am the other choice. So I'm going to be your evil version, like Cole from Infamous with red lightning.
Or Garth from Knight Rider. I think that's his name.
All that. Yeah.
You guys know Garth, right?
I am the evil car from Knight Rider, and you are the good car from Knight Rider. I think the evil car was called Car.
With a K, yeah.
Yeah.
And 2 R's.
Because that was extreme.
No, he had 3 Ks. He was super evil.
Oh. That evil racist car. So yeah, I watched the video.
What happens in it?
Worms come out of a man's ass.
They come out of the ass?
Out of it, see, because people are like, oh, looks like the internet had the idea before you did, Jim. Well, no, my idea was worms going into an ass. And the videos are all worms coming out, so I think I can claim originality on this, so that is copyrighted to Podtoid.
Now, are these like horror movie videos, or is this erotic videos?
Well, that's the other problem, and this
Yeah.
is why we should never click links. Because I didn't realise until after clicking through the website and looking at pictures of a man pooping worms into a bowl that the site was called Beast Gay, and there were various thumbnail images of people fucking dogs and making horses kiss.
That making horses piss?
Kiss. There was just
kiss.
two
Sorry.
horses being sexy with each other for the arousal of human viewers, and I panicked. Because I don't want to be deported. So I closed that down. My wife assures me that it's not illegal to watch animal porn. It's illegal
Animals having
to...
sex with animals.
Yeah. Well, no, any of it. It's not illegal to watch a man, like, licking a dog on the scroll or whatever. It's illegal to make it. Which is, again, one of those funny laws where it's like it's illegal to make it, but you can watch it if someone happens to be making it. So that's interesting. So I don't feel so bad about that, and I might go back later. So, but what really got me was the site was called, as I say, Beast Gay. And all I could think, like, after I got over the initial shock of, oh my fucking god, there's dogs and horses on this, click X, all I could think about, and all I've been thinking about today, is what kind of snobby dog fucker has to specify exclusory tags like they've got to be gay dogs. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you're into that kind of thing, you'll take what you get and like it. I can't believe a fussy zoophile. That pisses me off. An arrogant dog fucker. It's like, oh, I love to see dogs being fucked by a man, but it's gotta be a boy dog.
It's just a preference, you know.
If you're looking at a video of a girl dog being fucked, you just count yourself lucky. Don't go sitting there saying, oh, I wish it had testicles that I couldn't see anyway, because it's pretty hard to tell the difference.
It's you know, I don't think you should discriminate against people for having preferences in their beast.
Hey, look, I'm not being homophobic, right? If you want to fuck a gay dog, by all means fuck a gay dog. I'm just saying, if a straight lady dog comes past and you're into that kind of thing, you're in no position to be fussy.
I understand. Yeah.
So I saw your
that's
guys' tweets about this worm pooping stuff, and it actually reminded me that I once had a worm in my ass.
Oh,
Oh, this is good.
why?
I think I was like 4 or 5, and my family was visiting India. We got to go around, see the Taj Mahal, and all this other stuff. And I guess the water or some food I had there wasn't cooked properly or whatever, and I had gotten a tapeworm.
Ah.
Oh no, that's a bad worm to have in your.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Because there's good worms to have in your ass, Holmes.
Well, some are worse than others.
Yeah,
Earthworms aren't going to do much. Yeah.
It's not like he had the party worm in his ass.
Yeah. So, yeah, I had a tapeworm. I don't really remember much from my childhood. And this is obviously, I only know this because, like, my parents told me years later. But I don't remember exactly how I got rid of it. I mean, obviously, you take some like some medicine substance, and eventually you poop it out. But
Yeah,
I
like
don't.
its dead body, right?
And they're
Yeah.
long. They're like long, stringy.
They're
things.
very long, so I don't know if like I just sat on the toilet forever, if I actually started pulling. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, you
wow,
but-
man.
you must have pulled them, because this guy was pooping out earthworms, and even that he had to pull one of them.
Well, how did they get in his butt? Did he eat them and then no?
Oh no, they were alive. They weren't digested. They were
I'm
still
sure they
squirming
were
around.
stuffed up his ass. And
I'm-
then-
So he must have opened up his butt real.
I'm guessing he used a pipe. I think that's how it's normally done.
Oh yeah.
You'll get like a funnel and a tube, and then
Sure he will, yeah.
feed it in. Obviously, we'll be using trowels.
it was a worm enema.
Yeah.
Warm my mouth.
Oh,
And
that's
worms
terrible.
worms do eat dirt, so maybe they cleaned it out.
Yeah.
Cleaned out his
And then
dirt.
he pooped out his dirty worms. And he said in the video, like, if you're worried, like, oh, the poor worms, he did say in the video description the worms were fine. He put them back out in the garden. He said they had a great time, so
It sounds harmless
it's
enough.
happy ending. So,
Sure.
ladies and gentlemen, if you're worried about putting worms in your ass for the purposes of later pooing them out, and you're worried for moral reasons, don't worry. It's, under the eyes of God, it's okay.
Okay, so this is my, fourth or fifth episode, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so normally, like, I've been noticing there's a trend where I enter the show like a trauma victim, not understanding what's happening, and then halfway into the show, I just start to slowly accept things, and then by the end of the show, I'm, like, right up there with you guys.
Yep.
Well, I guess now I'm just starting off the show in full-on, like, fucked
Yeah,
up
you-
mode, because
You got
This
a
is
head
just-
start, man. Yeah.
Because
he's
I'm
actually had
officially
a
part of
worm.
Podtoid now.
This is the beautiful moment. This is the girls gone wild moment where you metaphorically lift up your top and we get a look at your twerps.
Never heard that word for that. You can put it together. They're
Yeah, I never heard of that. What is that?
I know.
I panicked halfway through the sentence.
I think it's a great new word for breasts. Yeah.
Yeah,
You've been panicking all day, apparently.
I've been worried about the FBI. Been looking at
Oh, right, because of Beast Gay.
because
Or Gay
of
Beast.
Beast
Or whatever.
Guy.
But their special animal porn division, FBI.
The funny thing is literally within a minute of me tweeting that I'd been watching worm porn and accidentally was on a gay bestiality site, I received this email. Let me get this up.
Is it a personal email
Yeah, it was a personal
as opposed
email.
to like a business email from Konami?
Oh, I can't even find it now. But basically, within a minute of me tweeting about it, I got an email from one of the Podtoid audience members begging for it, for the link, just begging for it. Please, it will make my Christmas come true if you fucking... I was laughing and crying, because he wasn't the only one. There were people on Facebook and Twitter just, like, begging for this link. Like, they really want to see the worms coming out of the arse.
They can't find it on there. Is it hard to find? Is that? I mean, we've got quite a few links sent to us by strangers. At least I have. I don't know if they've gone to all of you, but yeah, I've avoided them all. I'm troubled. I'm troubled by the idea.
Want to join the Podtoid emailer now?
You should join. It's good.
It's worrying. There is... Yeah, my Facebook is the same. Like, my Facebook is a minefield now of just things you don't want to click on ever. Because I guess just by virtue of this show, we make people think it's acceptable to give us things.
Get behind it.
You know, I got a Facebook comment overnight from a guy called Sean Miller, just said, thanks for the Minecraft review. And then there was a link to a naked man urinating on a boy with the text, my son, the piss piglet, was about to get the hosing down of his young life. Oh boy, if only his mother could see us now, the poor bitch would have a heart attack.
I have a request for the Podtoid listeners. All right, speaking of Minecraft, you just inspired me here. So all of you who are into Minecraft on 360, the phone, the PC, whatever, it would be absolutely amazing if you could make a monument in Minecraft of our Worms rap group from last episode.
No, come on. You could have said anything. You could have said, make us like what's that monument there with all the president's heads? Mount Rushmore. You could have done that. You could have done something.
Make a monument of Holmes bent over naked.
Oh.
With squiggly wiggly worms all coming out of his bumhole.
Oh boy. Was he squatting when he pooped out the worms, or was it a standing poop?
He was on all fours.
Can we talk about video games now?
With the occasional reach around. Huh? What?
Oh, it's getting too much for me. Video games. Let's talk about video games.
Are you sure? Because, we got we got Willem Dafoe coming up. I've got Jonathan Holmes' summer tips coming up.
Summer tips?
Oh yeah, I've got summer tips. I mean, it's called Jonathan Holmes' Summer Tips just because obviously you are a seller. Your name sells product.
No,
But
it doesn't.
It's for all three of us. But I call it Jonathan Holmes' Summer Tip. It predominantly features you, and don't write it off when you hear what's going on. Give it a chance.
I'm sure. I usually give things a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of discussion.
So we've got those coming up. Don't worry, listeners, that's in the bank. Right, you got all that to look forward to. I guess we've got some time to talk about some video games.
Sure. There's a lot going on. I think there is.
Did you know this is the 1 year anniversary of a new Podtoid?
Oh no, I didn't know that.
So we had a special 200 celebration last week, and then we had the 200 retro guiding with Anthony Birch and Nicholson, Lindy and Topher and Samir. And the fun never stops, literally.
Yeah, now we're doing
1 year anniversary.
How was the crappy Podtoid with the other people?
We literally had nothing to say to each other.
Seriously?
People really enjoyed it, though.
It was fun, but there did come a time when, and I pointed it out on the show, it's like, we haven't spoken to each other in a very long time, but we've got nothing to say. It's just understood. Really.
Sure, everyone's in a very different place these days. You can like people a lot, and after an hour, kind of run out of conversation, especially if you're not doing something together or, just Skyping. It's,
the thing is, as well, I'm not in love with any of them.
You kind of are, aren't you? No, not even a little.
Please, Jonathan, my heart belongs to one.
Really? I didn't know you were so monogamous about your thing with me. Thanks, Jim.
My actual legal marriage is a hollow farce. Because I'm just thinking about you, and she knows. She doesn't say.
You got married to your wife so you can live in this country, so you can legally pursue Holmes.
People are really thinking about us having sex.
Yeah.
They're
I
really...
should just officially deny what Hamza said, because just to actually say that actually isn't true. Because I don't want to risk being thrown out of the country.
Yeah, I guess that could happen, sure.
No, I mean, I live in fucking Mississippi. They're gonna, you fucking deserve the green card, mate, if you're gonna live there. I think that's their attitude. So no, that whole bit was a joke. But I am in love with Jonathan Holmes. That bit's real. I'm not trying to rape it. A lot of people think that it's a rape thing, and I did tweet earlier today that I will have sex with Jonathan Holmes and that he doesn't have to be awake, which I do apologise for, because that sent the wrong message. It's romantic love that I have for Jonathan Holmes. It's not. I wouldn't do anything he doesn't want to do while he's alive.
But things that I guess I would not mind having done to me when I'm dead, those things you won't do yet?
The heart stops and all bets are off.
Oh, mercy. Oh, somebody pointed out that they think my laugh sounds fake. Just so people know, this is when I do fake laugh, and I haven't done that in a while. It's more like, which I don't think I do on this show all that much. No.
Also, for the record,
real.
when I fake an orgasm, I also make that noise that Holmes just made.
Oh, like,
Yeah, so if any of the many ladies that I've bedded, and men, and worms, sorry to break it. So sorry you had to hear about it through this, but I have been faking. Let's talk about some video games.
Oh, sure.
We do need a new image, though. Like the Podtoid Twitter account and that post you put up for the retro episode, reminding me, we've been using a 2-3 year old image.
Dude, I got no control over any of that. I don't know how to get into the Podtoid account on Twitter, and the link, the image on iTunes is broken. It's just like a generic placeholder picture. Huh. I have no idea how to get in and fix that.
Yeah, me neither.
Wow, we're great.
We'll figure it out.
Dude,
Anthony knows.
I'm not a business side person. I'm creative. I'm talent.
All right, whatever. All right. I'm business. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Figure out business. Yeah.
Communicate, Director of Communications.
Shut up.
That was some good communication. You've expressed a problem, and now we'll work through it.
And my resolve is to just bury you.
Yeah.
Communicate. Shut up. That was very good. What video games do you guys want to talk about? Do you want to talk about the actual video games, or all the things people are saying about them? Because there's all this stuff being said, as you've probably heard. I'm still kind of reeling about the person from that game company saying that PS3 owners are more grown up and sophisticated and like more artistic games.
That is funny, because if you go on N4G, like, you'll find the complete opposite is true.
Well, it's just a really to place that kind of value on certain kinds of games, to say they're more grown up, and this is something that people have been saying. Jade Raymond said it not that long ago. That guy I talked about last week, who interviewed Jonathan Blow, said not that long ago. There's just such an intense like insecurity / snobbery to saying, well, these games that I play are very grown up and artistic because it's about a flower. It's so grown up. I'm a flower. You know, like why are you? You can say it's a great game and you like what it expresses and you think it's very well done on an individual basis, but to kind of make a blanket statement to say you like more artistic games, it really seems like you're trying to prove something. And I think you can't really judge a game's artistic merit based on stuff like that. It comes off as ridiculous to me and just snobby and lame. Yeah, bums me out.
I think it's interesting in that I guess I like a bit of everything. So I find it difficult to just pigeonhole like that and say, well, all PS3 owners enjoy artistic games, or they tend to like them more. Partly because it's hard to say it's the users that like that, when it's really just the platform has more of it, you know?
And what is it? I still don't even know what it means to say, oh, well, Heavy Rain is more artistic because you shave in it.
Whereas... Well, let's not talk about the artistic merits of Heavy fucking Rain.
Well, people are claiming that it's more artistic because I think that they think artistic means, well, if it doesn't have, like, selling points that appeal to people's baser instincts, like fighting or having sex or something, then it must be artistic and sophisticated if it's about walking around in the desert or something like that. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's more artistic. It all has to do with how many ideas are expressed and how passionately and sophisticated, I guess, they're expressed. And every console has games like that. Xbox Live has tons of games like that. Xbox, proper has tons of games like that.
Disagree. I mean, I think there are more... I think you can quantify it, at least on a personal, subjective level, more thoughtful and provocative games than others. You know, I would say that, I'm not a fan of Heavy Rain's narrative, as everyone knows, but I would say it's more provocative than Gears of War's story.
Sure.
Some may disagree. Some may think that Gears' story is more provocative, and I'm sure, that person's name is Cliffy B. But that's his attitude, not necessarily my own. And I do think it's fair. I think it's very fair to say that out of the big three platform holders, it is Sony that has taken the bigger risks this generation with more unique IP and more provocative and just something a bit more thoughtful than guts and guns. That's not to say the other platforms haven't done it, just that when it comes to taking the big risks, I mean, Heavy Rain, for all its problems, represented a big risk, and it's also a very welcome success story in that Sony put faith behind it, marketed it, it sold well, and it's the kind of stuff that you don't really get. It's not the norm. It's not something that you see 10 a penny on the Xbox 360.
Sure, but to say it's grown up is just very, very annoying to me.
No, I agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, and you'll be seeing this. I don't know why I'm doing this, but we just filmed a new Talking to Women about video games, about the whole idea of grown-up video games versus, like, adolescent video games, and we're doing one about the whole art idea tomorrow. Just everyone wants to do one, so I'm like, yeah, sure, we'll do one. These people want to do the show, so I don't want to talk it to death because I'll be doing it in video form soon enough. But let's just say that I think that once you start saying oh, look at me, I'm a grown-up because of the things I'm doing, you just make yourself look like a kid. Because only kids are so insecure that they need to prove that they're grown up. Well, a real adult can play, hide and seek and Mario Brothers and not worry about it if they're having fun with it. It's not such a big deal.
Really, what we're saying is that the listeners of Podtoid are really the most mature people around.
They may be. They may be.
Just like the hosts.
Yeah. Well, I joke, but I've actually said for many years, when I was doing stuff pre-Detoid, which was all offensive humor and stuff, that to me, I think it's a sign of maturity to have intellectual and emotional depth, to be interested in quote-unquote more, artistic things, but then to choose to talk about dicks and farts. I think there's a maturity in that you're secure enough to not worry about having to look all fucking musty and grown up and sensible all the time. Sometimes toilet humor, offensive humor, silly, stupid humor is good, and it's not shameful to admit that you like that. And I think it is more mature to stand up and say, I like a game where people get their arms and legs blown up and people get shot in the balls and they say, oh, my nuts, they hurt so much, they've fallen off. And say, I like that, but then I also like reading a book.
Like Jane Eyre.
Yeah, like Jane Eyre.
Jane Eyre for a little while.
And one of the many other books available at your local... Well, not anymore, I guess.
They don't really make bookstores anymore.
On your Kindle.
Amazon.com. It's a .com.
Yeah.
And another thing, I think that when you're a man who refuses to pee sitting down, even when you might have to poop, then you've got way too much to prove about your manhood. A man who's really secure in his masculinity and whatever manhood means, he'll just sit right down when he has to, right, guys?
I don't like peeing standing up. I'm too lazy for that.
Me too, man. I mean, there's a time and place. Camping.
When you have to, yeah. But,
sure.
Where does
crabs everywhere.
this issue come from, Holmes?
It occurred to me today.
Plus, I have, a tiny peanut-like penis, so it's easier to... I mean, it's practically a vagina, especially when the fat swallows it all up, so it's better to just sit down. I mean, it might as well be a clit.
Wow.
So anyway, what we were saying, we're all a lot more mature than...
we're very mature and masculine and grown up. And we'll sit when we pee and we'll play Gears of War if we want. Yeah?
I got nothing. No, never mind.
Oh, that's okay. No, we're having a good time. We're having a good time with this. Another big topic that people won't shut up about, which I'm happy about, is... I don't know if you guys care. Capcom's fiscal results came in and they were down 13.8% from what they were making this time. Oh, I think from last quarter, actually. And some of their games sold well, like Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City sold well, and Monster Hunter.
Which is crazy.
Almost 2 million, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, which is...
Hey, don't deny the power of a name.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's all it is there. Because, I mean,
and I think
I'm not saying it's a bad game, but... It's not a good Resident Evil game. It's fun, but it's not like...
I mean, I liked it. I thought it was a good game. I got attacked for it.
It's a good game. It's just like not. It doesn't live up to the Resident Evil name franchise, and you need other people to play with it too. Like I can't get into the game by myself. I want to play with other people, and I haven't bothered lately because no one else is playing it anymore.
But the concept people were really excited about. People have wanted Resident Evil where you run and shoot and are back in Raccoon City and, a Left 4 Dead kind of combined with Resident Evil for a long time, and they finally got it, and it paid off for them. So it makes sense that, I don't know if people are still playing it, but a lot of people pre-ordered it and bought it just on concept alone. So I think that speaks to how well Resident Evil 6 will probably do. I'm excited for them to not die. Because I know a lot of people hate Capcom, but I would be very sad if they went out of business entirely or if they changed their business model to the point where they don't make games, the kind of games they make now at all. If they just went purely mobile. Because I guess their Smurfs game game is doing really well, and I'd hate for them to drop everything and just do Smurfs. But the game that didn't do well was Street Fighter Cross Tekken. They projected that they would sell 2 million units, and they I think did 1.4. And I can't help but wonder how much of that has to do with the on-disc DLC and how the PS3 version had more characters than the Xbox version and all that stuff. I wonder if they're actually starting to suffer for their business practices.
Was there stats based on how well each version performed?
No, I didn't see that. No,
Okay.
I didn't. I'm not sure of that actually. I remember seeing that the Xbox version sold better than the PlayStation version in the United States initially, and of course in Japan. 5,000 people bought the Xbox version.
Yeah.
100,000 people bought the PlayStation version, so there's no competition.
I wonder if that also has to just do with the Tekken brand. Like, do Capcom fans really give a fuck about Tekken characters?
Yeah, that's a good question. Tekken, I think one of the Tekken games, more recent ones, sold a lot, like 4 or 5 million. It did really well. So there's definitely an audience for Tekken still, but
I think we'll tell. I think it'll be telling to see how well Tekken Cross Capcom does.
Yeah.
If that does like way better, then especially with the guys making it promising that they won't sell characters as DLC or anything, they will.
No. They said that about Tekken Tag Tournament. They haven't said shit about Tekken versus Capcom in regards to that. They very well could, especially with the Capcom influence there.
Yeah, that would be a bad idea, but it's very possible. It'll be interesting to see. But do you guys feel validated? Because we've all talked about how on-disc DLC is a bad idea. Is this like a validating moment?
I would.
Yes.
I would if EA hadn't have posted their fiscal results to show that they are the richest mofuckers in the world. After people voting them the worst company in America and getting all up in arms the same way they got up in arms about Capcom, but they're still pouring money into it, and it's weird. I want to say the gamers are speaking out, but I guess they are speaking with their mouths and not so much their coin.
It's the vocal minority too. It's just, in almost every case, it's always going to be the people who aren't going to support them to be the least. The majority is going to. The general public, the consumers who don't pay attention to the blogs and the websites and all that. They just go to GameSpot or Best Buy or whatever. They see the flashy advertisement. Those are the people who buy the most games, I feel like, in general.
And it's kind of a shame because it's like, EA's like a big cunt. And it would be nice for them to be humbled a bit and then realize and go back to how they were when they were humble. Like back in 2007 when John Riccitiello looked almost like he was a person. It was great. Like I was actually I had a big sort of thing for Riccitiello's attitude. Like he got me hard because the things he was saying were just so on the money. Like 5 years ago, he was like, the $60 pricing model is broken and needs disruption, and people need to come in and look at China, they're giving away games for free. And he was like, we fucked over Bullfrog, we killed Dungeon Keeper, and that was bad of us. And I'm like, holy fuck, these guys actually... I guess because that was soon after Activision kind of took over as the big...
Has the roles reversed again? Has it finally come to the point again where Activision seems like they're the quote-unquote good guys again?
Almost.
Evil.
I've been talking about this for a couple of weeks. It's like EA had everything on a plate. They had good PR on a plate because they were up against Activision, which is, it's like someone running for mayor against Ted Bundy. It should be so fucking easy, and they somehow still managed to fuck everyone over. And I guess
it helps Activision a lot too that Bobby Kotick hasn't really said shit lately.
He's kept his mouth shut.
Since he was in Moneyball.
Yeah,
just the word Moneyball is funny.
He's too Hollywood to talk to the game industry anymore.
It's working for him. Sure.
Yeah, and fuck, they won't do online passes, Activision. I believe they've actually gone on record. Either that or they told me off record and I shouldn't say it. No, it's not even bad. I don't know why they wouldn't want me to say it. They were like, well, we think the games are good enough that people will want to play them online, so we don't want to put online passes in there. It makes sense. Whereas obviously EA does it all the time, and my opinions on online parties are well documented. So yeah, Activision look like the good guys, at least next to EA, and by doing nothing, they haven't changed anything they were doing. They're still like satanic, but I feel wrong calling them out like for anything because they've just been keeping their fucking noses to the grindstone and putting out games that I kind of like. Apart from the
and they've been doing really good too. Like Skylanders, I was not expecting that to take off as well as it has. And then you have Black Ops 2, which is actually changing the Call of Duty formula in a significant way. Like,
yeah, and I mean, Prototype, as much as some people don't like it. Obviously, I'm a bit of a fan of it. Brand new IP when the first one came out, and they marketed it. They showed faith in it, and they showed the same faith in the sequel, which it got to number 1 in the UK.
I didn't know
I don't know how well it's done in North America, but they'll get a new IP and they will work with it. Apart from unless it's by Raven, unfortunately. I don't know why they've never shown faith in Raven stuff, but outside of that, they generally are good to their IP. Well, until they get really successful and then they put one out every year and kill it. But just compared to some of the shit EA's been pulling, like. It's not so bad.
Yeah, so that's good for them. I'm happy for Activision. I'm old, so I think of Activision as the company that made Decathlon, and I think of EA as the company that made Archon. And I'm like, oh, I love Archon. I wonder what EA's up to these days.
Yeah, you're definitely old because I don't recognize either of those games.
Oh, those are great games. Yeah, Activision did River Raid, and they even did Pitfall. Now that I think about it. Yeah, old Activision. Yeah, Pitfall.
Holy shit, yeah.
Yeah, I'm old. Yeah, gonna be 40. 4.5 years. That would be weird. I wonder if I'll still be doing this at 40. Is that just dumb? If a 40-year-old guy, speaking of like being grown up or not, I really have to put my money with where my mouth is, because a 40-year-old is beyond grown up. You're like almost grandpa level. And should I still be talking about video games then, or am I just gonna look like someone trying to, like a hip 40-year-old lady with short skirt and breast implants?
There are some older people in this industry. Like, I don't want to just like guesstimate his age, but he's at least over 50. Andy Eddy, he was now the editor-in-chief of Act Gamer. Like, he's a really good guy. He's been around in this industry forever. Like, he's been all over the place too. Now he's landed at Act Gamer. He knows his shit. He's good at what he does.
Do people think he looks like he's trying to be a kid still, or at least like a young man? And do people respect him? Because I haven't actually heard of him. I thought you were going to say Adam Sessler, who kind of he might have aged out. People are wondering why he's not on G4 anymore. I'm guessing they wanted somebody younger. And,
I don't know. Maybe there's some bullshit behind the scenes. Because today, Kevin Pereira just announced he's leaving in a month.
Oh yeah, that's right. I just heard about that too. And
he's a young face,
That's true. He's funny.
Yeah, he's great. Like, him, Adam, and Morgan's really the only reason I still pay attention to G4. And now 2 of the 3 people are gone, and I wouldn't be surprised if Morgan Webb, rather, does try something else soon.
Yeah, I wonder. I like Blair, but I'm biased because we're both on from the same reality show, and I think he's funny.
What?
He's a nice guy. Blair Hetler, I think that's how you pronounce his last name.
He was on Road Rules too?
Yeah, he was. He was on, I think, season 7, whereas I was season 5.
Wow, that's
season
crazy.
7. Yeah, and I remember talking to him way back then about video games. We had like a weird, really long email exchange about the zombie survival guide, and I was like, I just want to be your best friend. Like, I totally just thought he was the best, and then he never emailed me again. But I saw him at PAX East, and we shook hands and smiled, so yeah, I'm on his side. He's a good guy.
All right.
That's my weird, pointless story. So you guys feel like I could keep going.
Hey, you could be the Roger Ebert for video games.
Whoa, that would be fun.
The trouble is...
You know what? Here you go. Michael Pachter. He talks about fucking video games all the time, and like he's an old analyst. And I know that's not an insult at all. Like, he's good.
The trouble is, I mean, he moved... I mean, he's always been a business analyst, I think, and moved into games.
Sure.
The trouble is a lot of when people get older, they stay in the game industry, but they stop doing the press side of it. A lot of people, I guess, don't have an opportunity to become old game pundits because they go into PR, which is not something I could imagine ever doing. So I guess
I would
I'm
love to actually, but I feel like the more I do Podtoid, the less chance I have of that.
I know people in PR, and it's a very different, and you know tons of them, Hamza, so you could speak to it. They don't have the freedom we do, and they have a sense of
No one.
impending doom.
Well,
I
the
don't
thing
want
is too,
that.
like we're a very special case. Like we're a big deal in this industry, and we don't really answer to anyone in the sense that like we don't have like I mean just listen to Podtoid, the shit we say, like we don't have to worry about repercussions from like our AOL like overseers, you know, like a
Yeah,
Joystick does or
exactly.
Gawker or whatever. Like we're just people who get to talk about whatever the fuck we want, and people for whatever reason listen to us.
Yeah, we're easily the luckiest
We're
people
a very,
in the
very
industry,
special
I think.
case.
But
and
I
it's
also get the
totally-
impression that Gawker and AOL play Podtoid to their staff members and say, and this is why we don't let you make the decisions. But no, I mean, it's a very unique case. The amount of creative freedom we have is, again, part of the reason why I can't, at least at this stage of my life, see myself going into another company. Anything I do outside is all freelance based, so I'm still my own boss. Maybe I'd be interested in doing actual writing for games, but the PR side, I feel if I did PR, like it would render everything I've ever written and said before then meaningless.
Oh god, especially for you, yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you get like a high role position right away, and like you could actually influence those kind of changes.
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't be a mouthpiece for a company lying through my teeth that certain games are great. It would go against everything I sort of.
Oh, they'd be so excited to get you because you have so many people who just know that you're never going to lie. Because why would you lie in the way that you do and upset people sometimes? You know, you're known for your honesty, Jim. So you would be such gold for those PR companies. Oh, I'm surprised they don't send you like weird like cookie gifts and stuff like that, trying to get you to be their buddy.
No, very few people. I guess just because I've become so linked to Destructoid over the years. Very few people have tried to woo me away. A couple have, not PR people, but within the game press have tried to headhunt me and that. But you know,
Yeah.
the question always comes down to: can I talk about putting worms in an ass with you? No, I don't think so. I'm happy where I am, thanks.
Yeah, it's a similar deal with me. But then also back to video games. New video games got announced today. I was excited about it.
Oh God.
What games?
Well, not did they get announced or just
What the fuck are you
said-
talking about?
Oh, okay. Sorry, Hamza. Well, new Dead Space. They didn't say Dead Space 3, I don't think, but they said new Dead Space. And the Adventure Time game was officially
Was it?
announced. Yeah, it was
I
officially
missed
announced.
that.
Yeah,
we
I was
actually
pretty.
put that story up.
Yeah, I was gonna write it, but I was at my
Yeah.
day job, so I couldn't. But if someone else wants to write it, go ahead. I tipped. I kind of went
we'll get
obsessive
done.
with the
We'll
tip.
get done, I'm sure.
Yeah,
But,
I'd actually, if no one else does it, I'd be happy to write about it. I'm so excited. But yeah, that was a nice. You got one side of the coin with Dead Space, and you got the other side of Adventure Time. That got me pretty excited for games this year in general.
When did they announce? I must have been working on review stuff.
I think so. I think I emailed the
Yeah,
press
you
release.
emailed tips. So you emailed a couple things. D3's putting it out. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, that was weird. The publisher was unknown until today, and the whole premise of the game wasn't known until today. The premise, I think the game is called Adventure Time. Hey, Ice King, why'd you steal our trash?
Yeah, something like that.
What are you
or
doing with our
garbage.
trash? Something like that? Yeah, garbage. The Ice King is going into Finn and Jake's trash and stealing it, and he forms a princess out of it that he like falls in love with.
And it looks
And-
like Princess Bubblegum.
Yeah, kind of, but it's called Garbage Princess, I think. And Finn and Jake are annoyed about that, so they're probably going to beat him up. And that's the premise. No screenshots are shown or anything.
Was
but
it
we
announced
know-
for the 3DS as well?
Yeah, that was new. It was originally
Okay.
just a DS game, but it's
Yeah, he even
multi-plat
said
now.
originally like it wasn't gonna come out for 3DS.
I'm guessing that all the 2D platform games, including WayForward's own Mighty Switch Force and how successful they've been, might have got them to see that there's a separate audience for that look
Yeah.
on the 3DS. Because I'm definitely buying it on 3DS. I love the way 2D sprite-based games look in 3D. So
Jim, there wasn't screenshots like Holmes said, but there's a box art and there's some like concept art that Penn Ward, right?
Penn Ward, that's
Yeah.
right, Pendleton Ward.
That he did.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
I'm pretty psyched.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was hoping it would be like a big kind of. I hate to use the overused word, but it's time to take it back. Let's take back epic. Let's not overuse it. Some things actually are just big and detailed and grandiose in scale, and that would be epic. That's what I was kind of hoping it would be. Instead, it sounds more like one of the goofier episodes of the show, but I can get into that too. I'm pretty excited all around. Then Dead Space, what did they say about that? Anything much?
They just said they're just making a new one. There's a lot of rumors about like what the details are, that he's going to have a split personality. It's going to be on an ice planet, and
Yeah, that was a leak from a few months back.
yeah, it all sounds plausible and interesting. I'm a sucker for a good split personality story, so I like that idea.
Hey, there was kind of like hints and elements of that in Dead Space 2 as well. As it was.
Well, the whole Dead Space phenomena is kind of a mental health metaphor. What do they call it? The Citadel? Is that thing with the red?
The marker.
Oh.
Yeah, the marker. That's it. It's been a little while. Which I have a mental health background, so it ruins it for me when they do mental health problems kind of wrong. Split personalities don't exist. Let me tell you a quick story about split personalities. You want to hear about split personalities, guys?
Go for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it's quick enough. So, you're working in the psychiatric hospital. It's locked. But people get to go out and smoke cigarettes a few times a day. But they have to be proven to not be suicidal or homicidal or going to escape, or else the doctor won't write an order for them to go out and
Did
smoke
you
cigarettes.
say homicidal?
Homicidal, yeah. You're right, homicidal. Sorry.
What?
I shouldn't have said homicidal. It's not how
You mean
say it.
homicidal?
Homicidal, too. Yep. That's another way of pronouncing it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm bad at pronouncing words. It's a shame because I talk so much and I just say words wrong. Anyway,
Homicidal.
so to go out and smoke, you need to not be dangerous, basically. And we'll have people come in that say, "Oh, I've got a split personality. Sometimes I talk like this, and I'm a southern lady, and other times I talk like this, and I get very angry, and I cry." Huh?
You just sound like tree trunks from Adventure
Oh yeah.
Time.
Oh, thanks. I love tree trunks. And there's no way to prove they're not telling the truth. You can't go reach into somebody's brain and count their personalities, but you can say to them, "Well, we have to assess your safety, and we can't assess all of your different personalities for safety. So if you want to go out and smoke, you're going to have just one personality at this hospital stay, and we can assess that one for safety. Otherwise, we can't be sure what you'll do, because you could suddenly turn into the guy that talks like this and punch someone in the face. So sorry." And suddenly their split personalities just completely disappear. If you take away their potential for smoking, they're cured. I've seen it for years and years and years. It's a made-up thing. People watch too many movies.
No, but dissociative personality is an actual thing.
Yeah, it's just not.
It's not.
No, it's a thing. Like you can read a book and say, "Oh yeah, it's in a book," but when you meet the people that have it, no, it's always fake.
That's pretty controversial.
It's just a fact. Yeah, I mean, just speaking the facts.
Oh, okay. I mean, you're talking. We should stress you are just like using anecdotal.
Sure, and the anecdotal evidence of everyone I know.
Right.
Not disassociate.
Okay, look, I'm not arguing. I have no mental health background.
People do disassociate. That's something different. But dissociative fugue, which is when, I'm disassociating and I'm turning into a salad.
I was reading about that today.
Yeah, it's not real. People love the idea of it.
But it happened to Agatha Christie.
Who?
That's cute.
The murder mystery writer. She disappeared for a few days, had no memory of what she'd done in that time.
Oh, yeah, you can disassociate. Absolutely. Dissociative fugue, which is when you disassociate and turn into a different person. Like what's that show? The United States of Terra or something like that? There's a show with Toni Collette. It's a good show, but it's just all made up. People romanticize the idea of split personalities, and maybe they even believe they have split personalities, but when you put them to the test, they just don't have them every time.
Well, okay. Well, that's ruined my life.
I'm sorry.
Like I say, I mean, I am a sucker for a good split. I love Raising Cain as a
Oh yeah,
movie.
it's a great movie. He's
You know,
fantastic.
I should point out though that Isaac's mental stuff is pure science fiction. Like he's not insane technically.
Yeah, he's
It's
infected
the
with this.
marker
Mhm.
makes people. So the marker can invent a split personality and put it in your head. So I wouldn't worry too much about it not being realistic enough. It's like
Well,
it's like Event Horizon. You know how that sort of.
And beyond all the mental science talky, Dead Space itself is a really fun game. I love the first one. The second one fucking blew me away. It was my number one game of. Did it come out last year? Number two?
I think it
Oh,
was.
man.
I think it was late 2010.
No,
Okay.
it was a January game. I know
Oh,
that.
you're right. It was
Oh
January.
yeah, that's right. That's
2011.
why it always confuses me. Yeah, no, it was my favorite game last year. Like number one, hands down.
Yeah, it was fucking fantastic. I played that about 4 times in a row, because they've got a great. I love their new game plus. Like,
Oh yeah.
that will. I mean, fuck people that say a single player game isn't worth like the money, because if you put a good new game plus in, I'll play that shit. Like, you know,
I didn't even touch the fucking multiplayer in that game, like
I'll
at
play
all.
that shit.
Yeah, I know it is. It looked like shit. I mean, the single player though is worth playing over and over. Did you play it on the hardest difficulty?
No, it was on my
Okay.
to-do list. I never got round to.
I really wanted to, and that shit was way too hard for my patience. But like, I just wanted to do it so I could get the finger gun.
Yeah,
Yeah, which kills everybody, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for those of you who don't know, like you need to like YouTube this. It's basically like the ultimate weapon in Dead Space 2 after you beat it on the hardest difficulty is like a foam finger gun, and like Isaac is like basically like saying pew pew bam 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 at the enemies, and like it blows everything apart in like in an instant.
Yeah,
Really
it's pretty
funny.
awesome.
yeah. I mean, I love the little bits they put in those games. It's a very detailed series. Plus, I mean, like my 2 favorite science fiction films of all time is Aliens and Event Horizon, and that game is both of them. So it's almost my perfect game series. It just blends everything I love about science fiction and horror. So I'm absolutely in love with the Dead Space series, and I'm excited to see what they do next. And Peachy
Speaking
Keen.
of
That's EA, right? Oh,
yeah, that's
That is EA. That's they're in the moral conflict arises. I've got
Well-
something coming up about that actually.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
how you were mentioning earlier, like EA back in 07 was like the awesome EA, right? Back when
Yeah.
they were like doing good stuff. Back then, they used to do these community day events all the time, and back then we were still kind of considered like a community site rather than like I don't know what the fuck we're considered now, like a high end site, I guess. I don't know. The way we're classified is really funny. It's different from every company. But anyways, back then, like EA considered as a community website, and they would do these like community events, and they did one for Dead Space, the original. Like they had me and Dan Lingen, aka Husky Hog, he used to work for us back then, and some other community sites come out to their campus in Redwood Shores, and like we spent like the 2 solid days just talking everything about Dead Space. We got to play it, got to interview people, and on the first evening, they had us in the EA movie theater. It's basically where they do their like annual press conference too. From like it's a really badass theater, and they showed us 2 movies. I think one may have been Event Horizon. I can't remember for sure, but the other one was Solaris.
Oh,
which
really?
Also a big influence for the movie or for the game. Like that's a really I never seen the movie back, and it was really good.
That's about kind of isolation. That's George Clooney, right? And he's just bummed out in space thinking about girls.
Oh shit, no, that's fuck. What's the one where they're trying to reignite the sun?
Sunshine.
Yeah, that was the one that
It's
showed.
a great movie. That's a great movie. Yeah, it's Danny Boyle, I think, did that.
No,
Yeah,
I actually-
That was like a random story. Sorry.
I think
No,
that was
it's all right,
one of the
enjoyed it.
first preview events I ever did. Was a Dead Space one. It was a community day as well in London, and they had a big movie theater, and they showed the Dead Space animated movie.
Oh, right.
I forget the name of it. It wasn't all that good.
Downfall, maybe?
Downfall, yeah.
Yeah.
It was interesting. And then they gave me a pair of underpants with Dead Space written on it, with the implication being that you will poo yourself.
I've had trouble getting into Dead Space. I reviewed the light gun shooter,
Of course you
Extraction.
did.
Of course I did. And I tried the other ones. I never got through either of them. Dead Space 2, it started in like a mental hospital, so I had a block there. And the first one was good, but I just didn't feel compelled to finish it because I kept comparing it to Resident Evil in my mind. So many people had kind of said, "Oh, Dead Space is like how Resident Evil should be." Then I played it and was like, I actually prefer Resident Evil 4 to this by like a lot, and then just never ended up getting back to it. But I realize that kind of thinking is dumb, and I'm going to stop doing it. Comparing games to other games that you already like more while you're giving them a chance for the first time just is going to lead to terrible things. So I'm going to go into Dead Space 3 totally open-minded and try to love it.
Not liking Dead Space is dumb anyway, so
Right, I'm already dumb.
change
And it feels like
change your opinion.
Dead Space 3 is going to be a significant change if the rumors are true about the whole
Yeah.
ice planet thing. It sounds like Lost Planet, actually.
Yeah, I wonder.
The core basic premise, anyways. But that's unfortunate that you couldn't get into Dead Space because of that. Because I mean, Resident Evil 4 was phenomenal. It was a great game, and I could see the comparisons, but like, it's still unique enough on its own.
Sure. I'm going to try to. The attitude you go into with a game and what you're looking for and what you have as a value set and try to find things that meet the standards of that value set can really screw you over. It screws over a lot of people, even me. If you're like, oh, jaggy graphics, not going to play it, and then you miss out on Xenoblade, or if you say, oh, heard it was like Resident Evil, but it's not enough like Resident Evil, stop play it, you miss out on a lot. It's no fun.
Yeah, I'm playing with my Dead Space action figure.
Oh, you have one?
Pew! So badass. It lights up, but the battery's dead.
Oh.
It's
Space
ruined
lights
my
up?
day. Yeah, his face and his little health stuff on the back.
Oh, yeah. I really like that aspect, how the HUD is built into the game. I thought that was really
Oh,
brilliant.
it's
There's
very,
a lot of-
very nice.
Yeah.
Classy,
Like
but it didn't get in the way. A lot of times they go for the whole style over usability, but it was very fluid using that. I'm gonna download those on Steam again. 'Cause, I mean, I love playing them on console, but they're scarier on PC just because it's more intimate. I like horror games on PC. Funnily enough, when I first played Dead Space, I wasn't that keen on it. And it wasn't until I played it on, even though, I loved everything it was doing, because, I love Event Horizon, Aliens, all that, I didn't quite feel it, and then I replayed it on PC, and I was like, but now I am in love with this.
Huh, maybe that's my problem. Yeah, I was not scared, like, for 1 second. I appreciated the craftsmanship of the game, but I just, like you said, wasn't feeling it. Maybe if I played it on PC, that would help. Oh, and you know what else I read? A rumor that they're making another 3DS Resident Evil game. I don't really believe the rumor, or else I'd post it, but I don't know. They're saying it's going to be about Claire Redfield, and it's going to come packaged with the two Resident Evil CGI movies in 3D, which kind of makes sense.
Didn't Revelations do pretty well?
Yeah, it did. It didn't do like I don't think it's. I think it's globally 1 million, and that's just kind of guessing based on reading NPD. Capcom hasn't announced anything about that. But for a handheld game, which has a reduced budget compared to something like Raccoon City, Operation Raccoon City, it did pretty well.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'd play it.
I don't know. I'm kind of like I'm almost burned out on Resident Evil at the moment. Like I'm just trying to I just want 6 right now, and that's all I give a shit about anymore at this point. Like I want to see the story continue, even though it's like very convoluted and almost stupid story at times. But I want to see where the characters go. Yeah,
Resident Evil story is incredibly stupid, but it's fun to watch. I'm attached to it like a stupid uncle who comes over.
Yeah, like I'm hooked. Like I even have the goddamn Resident Evil encyclopedia.
Do you really?
That details everything up until I think 4.
Huh, I should check that out. I'd like to see that.
But I mean, there's like plot holes all over the fucking place.
Yeah, the science of making games back then, people didn't care about story at all. It wasn't thought that it was ever going to matter, so they just kind of did whatever back then. And now games are seen as a narrative art form almost primarily. Some people will buy a game with lackluster gameplay and everything's kind of average. As long as they love the story, they'll They'll eat it
Well,
up.
you know what? Yeah, you say that, but like, I mean, even look at Operation Raccoon City. Like, they're like, fuck it, let's just do a what if story where you could kill Leon if you want to. Like,
Sure, sure. I don't know if Resident Evil fans, some of them are. I know Toby is one of our friends, listeners, contributors. Toby loves the Resident Evil storyline and really focuses on it. But I think a lot of Resident Evil fans just want to shoot zombies and laugh at some bad dialogue.
well,
That's how I tend
and
to.
to Capcom's credit, they also say it's not canon. It's not officially canon.
Yeah.
Operation Raccoon City. So,
But it
it's
still
just a what.
sold. Yeah, it sold really well. Sold better than even Umbrella Chronicles did, guys.
Oh,
And I'm sure there's a sequel to Operation Raccoon City, and it still won't be canon. But hey, why not? Fuck it, it did really well the first time around.
Yeah, good for them. Good for them. I don't want Capcom to die. I want them to change, just not die before they have the chance to change for the
They,
better.
I think, based on the earnings report, they also said that they're going to change how Capcom of America is operated, didn't they?
Again? Really?
Yeah, I remember seeing that somewhere else today.
Capcom of America has changed so many times, so many
Yeah.
different ways. They used to have. Yeah?
It feels like it's following suit to what just happened to Sega of America too. A ton of people got laid off there. Like there's barely anyone there still, and
Yeah, I wonder if what they say about Japanese games dying is true. It is mostly Japanese companies I hear about starting to falter.
but
Western
also to their credit, like I mean, EA, even though they did really well based on the earnings report, they also said they're going to lay off a ton of people by September.
Huh, really? I didn't hear that.
Shift things around, right, Jim?
yeah,
Jim?
probably.
Jim.
I was just looking at my Dead Space figure.
Jim, we've cut you out of the conversation. I feel terrible about that. Please
No,
join
that's
us.
probably good.
I don't think so. I think it's great when you talk.
Because when I talk, I'm going to say things.
I know.
I've got tips for you.
Yeah, let's start with
Jonathan Holmes.
All right, here we go. No more video game talk. Let's get his Holmes tips. I bet you have a big Holmes tip in your pants.
Who? Me or him?
Oh,
him.
oh, my uncircumcised penis, yeah.
Yeah.
Uncircumcised. I didn't know that about you. That's fun.
I'm British.
God.
Yeah, different penis types. It's good stuff.
It's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really
Very
well,
cultured.
So here's the thing.
Yes.
It's
Now-
more of a Jane thing.
It's summer almost. We're heading into June, July, August. What kind of things do you like to do during the summer, Jonathan? When you think summer, what kind of activities do you think about?
I kind of do the same thing year round. I just turn on the air conditioner and then write about video games. I go outside sometimes. Get a tan.
Yeah.
I'll get a tan, turn brown, come back, be brown at home.
We could do that.
Yeah, sounds good. I'll go to the beach. I'll eat some ice cream, fried dough.
Some people go for that. Yeah.
Sure. Get a hamburger.
This summer, though,
Yeah, this summer.
I think, and hear me out, we should be Cenobites.
From the Hellraiser series of
From the
films?
Hellraiser series of films. I was thinking about this for the past 2 days. Right? All three of us, right, should cut up our faces a bit, put barbed wire on our dicks, and be honest to goodness fucking Cenobites.
in leather and pale skin.
I've never watched Hellraiser.
Oh no, really?
Right. You're going to have a really boring 10 to 20 minutes.
You really should watch Hellraiser. It's a
I don't really like horror movies.
You'll like this fine. It's very interesting. The first one, anyway. It's not going to scare you, per se. The special effects are so dated, but it's got some nice ideas.
Plus, it's really worth getting to the third one, which is amazing.
I've never even seen the third one, I don't think.
Hell on Earth is fantastic. I haven't watched the subsequent ones, but I've been planning to do that this month.
There's so many of them. There's
9.
Oh, no.
Fun fact about the last one, the 9th one. First of all, it doesn't star Doug Bradley as Pinhead. They just found someone else. It was made in a few weeks just so that Dimension could keep the license. Just so they could tell the lawyers, oh, hey, look, we're doing stuff with this property. So it exists as this kind of ashcan thing where its only purpose for existence is to exist. It's amazing. But inspired by the Hellraiser series, we should become sadomasochistic overseers of pleasure and pain for all eternity. What do you reckon on that, Jonathan? I'm going to get a bread knife, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to cut all squares in your face, right? And then I'm going to jam twigs in it so that you'll be a proper scary Cenobite. And my wife suggested that you can be called Twiggins.
Let me explain to poor Hamza. So, Hellraiser, there is a puzzle box that if you solve it, these things come from hell. I believe it's hell, Hellraiser.
It's left vague as to what it is.
Yeah, but boy, in the second one, sure seems like hell. And they tend to be pale and bald, and they all look like they've been tortured in some different way. Like the main guy is named Pinhead, and he's got all these pins nailed into his head in kind of a grid shape. And they wear leather. They're very like sadomasochistic bondage looking, and quite emotionless. They launch a bunch of meat hooks out of nowhere that string you up by hooks, and it feels so bad it starts to feel good, I think. And then there's the Chatterer who has no lips. I don't know what happened to him, but he just goes...
Well, they're all mutilated in various ways, which is why I think Hamza's going to be very excited when we cut off his arms and legs and sew him to the back of a horse.
Do we shave his head too, or does he just look like Hamza with no arms and legs?
It just looked like Hamza, no arms and legs, tied to a horse. Sewn to a horse, all stitched up, because that is like all Clive Barker-esque.
Yeah.
You're gonna have your face all like cut up a bit with twigs all shoved in it, right? My like scary mutation is going to be wearing some cool shades so everyone knows I mean business.
So I am gonna have, it's gonna get infected. I'm gonna have open wounds with sticks and twigs in my face.
Can I control
very
the
important
horse?
part of the body, and the skin is not deep on the face, so it's gonna be tough to keep those in there. They're gonna keep falling out.
Can I control the horse?
You can't control the horse. You're just attached to a horse, Hamza.
But I'm so to the horse. I mean, I have to have some kind of mental connection to the horse at this point.
Well,
if you can figure out a way to do it, sure.
Your mental connection to the horse is you'll tell me where to lead it by the bridle. So I'll be like, leading the horse along with sugar lumps.
I like that you're going to be there with me with the horse, especially after the incident where you were watching horses making out.
Oh yeah,
that may have been a subconscious influence.
Yeah.
But we'll
out with my horse part.
We'll all have barbed wire on our dicks, because that is all Cenobite-y. It's going to be badass. Like,
and then we just show up at people's houses who.
Well, Cenobites are cool, aren't they? So every time someone knocks over the tower in Jenga, we'll turn up and we'll put a brick through their window and we'll run off. That's pretty much what they do.
You guys will run off. I'll gallop off.
Oh yeah, well we could both ride on in between. We can have arms in between.
I have a horse with me.
Well, that's all right. I'll
my horse.
You can be between us. If we sew you sideways on, there's enough room for all of us. We can all gallop off on Hamza's back because he and the horse are now one.
Yeah, I don't think it's your horse. I think you're the horse.
You are the horse. You are our Cenobite steed.
Exactly. Yeah, or at the very least, the horse owns you, but you're definitely not in control of that horse. No, because he's got no arms. I mean, what are you going to do?
And you're also, from now on, you're going to be called Munkusberger.
I was wondering what his name was going to be.
Yeah, so we got Munkusberger, Twiggins, and I'll be known as Radical Awesome. Right? We'll
train my horse to rape you.
What?
That is in keeping with the Cenobite way of life, so I would have to accept that.
They are mean to each other sometimes, aren't they?
Sometimes. We'll all be wearing black t-shirts so people know we are scary. And we'll go down the quarry and kick rocks.
Yeah, because that's our hell.
Yeah, that's what we do. Go down the old quarry. We'll just kick rocks around and laugh. And then occasionally, put bricks through people's windows.
If they solve a puzzle wrong, or do you solve it right or wrong?
So long as they knock down the Jenga tower, we will turn up.
Okay, or if they get Yahtzee or something, we just charge
Yeah,
them.
just any kind of board game, really. If someone, falls over while they're miming in charades, we'll turn up, we'll put the brick through, we'll open their fridge, we'll steal, a couple of cans of Diet Dr. Pepper and ride off on the back of our horseman.
Who's named, what was his name? Mungus Joe?
Munkus Burger.
Munkus Burger, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I don't want to do it. No.
What?
I'd rather not. It's a fine idea. It's a fun and fine idea. I really don't want to do that, though.
I'm pretty interested, because I've been, obviously when I come up with ideas for things for us to do,
Mm-hmm.
I evaluate any possible objections that you or Hamza may have. And I couldn't think of any. So I'm interested to see what the feedback is. Maybe I can sort of reach a compromise, because that's what the show is all about, yeah?
That's very nice of you. Well, I don't want to do any crimes. I don't want to break anyone's window. I don't want to have to keep this. The sticks are going to keep falling out of my face, like I said earlier, because you can't stick a stick that far. Maybe your cheeks are thick enough, but
no. We'll be using super glue just in case.
Oh, okay.
It's like when they put the nails through the wrists in the crucifixion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to give too much away about what we're going to be planning next week, but when they crucify someone,
What? No,
You already have next week.
and they but obviously if you just put someone up like on the cross with just the nails, it'll rip through, they'll fall over, but they tie it up as well, so it's kind of symbolic and everything. So we will cut you up for the symbolism, jam all the twigs in, and then get some wacky glue and put it in, just so people will look at it and they'll think that's really impressive. Twiggins has got some twigs in his face. But
Isn't that how they're going to walk through doors and stuff like that? The twigs are going to keep knocking around, and it'll hurt a lot unless you keep me on a morphine drip or.
Oh no! We'll be deep. I'm gonna every morning. I will get a mouthful of mouthwash, right?
Mm-hmm. In your mouth.
Healing mouthwash, okay? Healing absorbent mouthwash, and it's good for the, getting rid of germs, and
It's very good for that. Yeah.
gives you a tingly sensation, so you won't be in any distress. So I'll get a mouthful of that, and then I'll just sort of like dribble and squirt it all over your head.
From your face.
Yeah, like all on top of your head, so it kind of dribbles down you. Like a shower, because obviously you will never be able to shower again.
No, I'll never be able to shower
because
again.
it'll get all the twigs.
I won't even be able to put a shirt on or
Yeah.
off. I don't think. I'll have to just wear vests all the time.
Oh no, well you're going to be wearing the black t-shirt, so we need to put that on you first.
Right, but then I'll never be able to take it off.
Dude, Jonathan, that's never coming off. Okay?
It sounds Hamza. I'm surprised Hamza's not complaining more. My deal isn't that good. But Hamza's is probably the worst, because he's going to have to go to Christmas with or whatever holidays he may celebrate as a horse. He's just going to have to gallop in.
What do horses normally do for Christmas? He can just do that.
They just sit in the barn.
Why am I on the show?
You're going to have a terrible Christmas this year, Hamza.
I don't even celebrate Christmas.
I didn't think you did, but you're still going to have a bad
Well,
Christmas.
then he's going to be fine then. If he doesn't celebrate Christmas, he won't feel
No
bad
loss.
when he.
I like that's my feedback. I don't celebrate Christmas.
Yeah, so Hamza's problems with this situation are all fixed.
Christmas can come and go,
Because-
and Hamza's going to have a great time regardless.
He doesn't believe in Santa Claus like all the good little boys and girls, so he gets to sit in the field with the other horses. That's fine. So Munkersberger is okay.
God damn it.
So Jonathan, we've solved the problem of you getting an infected face.
I'm never going to be able to.
Mutilated, Jim.
Sorry?
How come you're not mutilated?
I've already said that I'm wearing the scary cool shades, even at night and indoors. So,
Fair enough.
That's a sacrifice.
we're
That's-
we're
No, that's
all,
enough.
we're all suffering for our art. I mean, I've got bad eyesight anyway. That's going to really strain my eyes in about 20 to 30 years.
Okay, we'll be down. Holmes and I'm sure will agree. We'll be down for this if
No,
we
I'm
can mutilate you however we want.
What? I don't want to mutilate. I just want to eat some cake and, kick my feet up. I don't want to have sticks in my face and mutilate my friends and
You're not going to
throw
eat cake
to a
and put your
horse
feet up. You're going to have twigs in your face and kick rocks in the quarry. That's
and
what
laugh about it.
Cenobites are. It's almost summer, Holmes. Commit. For once in your life, commit to something and see it through. You know what? This is diplomacy. This diplomacy? Democracy.
This is democracy and diplomacy.
The Cenobites are a democratic people.
Mm.
I'll go for it.
You'll put it to a vote?
You guys can do as... No, we're definitely being Cenobites. You're definitely being Twiggins, and he's definitely being Munkersberger, and I'm definitely being Radical Awesome. But fine. Hamza and yourselves can do as you wish to me, and then we'll all be Cenobites together, kick rocks down the quarry, and drink a soda.
Dr. Pepper that we stole from someone who won Jenga. Yeah. That's our life
Diet
now.
Dr. Pepper.
Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah, Diet Dr. Pepper, because we...
Or watching her weight.
Yeah, it tastes nice and has no calories.
I do like diet soda, actually.
We'll put a brick through their window and we'll crawl in and we'll say, "You played the Jenga. We came. Where is your diet, Dr. Pepper? It is low in calorie and still tasty. How do they do that?"
It's just you with sunglasses with me in the background. There's blood pouring down my face and twigs in there. Yeah, I won't say a word. I'll be in too much pain.
Oh, no. Also, I forgot, because I'm also suffering along with you with other, because I will also carve fucker egg into my forehead.
Plus, you'll have the other stuff we do to you.
Fucker egg?
Fucker egg.
Yeah.
Does that mean something?
So I was thinking...
They said it in Scream.
Oh,
so I was thinking we would get like a metal chain pierced into your nuts.
What?
With the other end tied to your tongue. Like
oh no! Nuts tongue chain? That's terrible. Because you can't eat or do nut stuff without it messing with your tongue or your nuts.
Well, so long as the chains come out at the side, because obviously I want people to see the barbed wire that we've all got on our dicks. I don't want the chains
and our
to
dicks
clash.
Are going to be exposed too. Oh.
I don't want the chains to go. But I'm down with that. I'll have going through my tongue, 2 chains on either side. They'll go round and they'll go into each nut.
Ouch. Oh, I don't want. Can't we just have a good summer with listening to music and talking about girls and stuff? Oh, who's pretty? And,
yeah, we can still do that as Cenobites. Right?
we'll be in constant pain. Hamza's not going to have arms or legs. We're going to have a horse everywhere we go.
Will this beach allow horses?
Yeah, we're going to have to only go to horse beaches, and we're not going to be able to go to the mall. in the parking lot.
What do they allow on beaches? Donkeys for donkey rides. We will just tell them it's a donkey. Right? And every now and then, Hamza just has to shout, "Give me a carrot," so they know it's a donkey. So we'll bring Hamza on the beach, disguised as a donkey. And and I'll bring a boombox so that we can listen to music. I'll have some Paul Simon on the boombox.
And our penises are exposed everywhere we go with barbed wire.
Yeah.
Right? And that's just gonna... They'll be like, "Oh, Cenobites here. Yeah. That's fine. Just let them in."
And I should also let you know, Jonathan, that neither you or I will actually have taken our trousers and underpants off. So they'll be round our ankles and we'll be like wobbling everywhere we go. Because that will be a scary, disjointed walk like the nurses in Silent Hills.
That will be scary.
I'm not looking forward to the fan art from this.
I am.
Yeah. Who knows?
I am so looking forward.
Doing that.
No, I am
not expecting anymore. Who knows? Maybe no one will make fan art of this.
I think someone should do fan art of... I'm just pulling this idea out of a hat. I just had this sudden idea that people should do fan art of us as Cenobites on the beach, listening to Mambo No. 5 on a boombox strapped to a horse's ass, with Hamza with no arms and legs on the back of it.
That would be good fan art. I noticed the fan art slowed down a little bit. I think people are working on the artist wanted thing instead, which is cool.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, hopefully it'll work out. I'm sure Andy's paying attention, our community manager. Jim, I thought of this is pales compared to all of your ideas as usual, but I really want to do. Yes, Jim has so many ideas. I have an idea. I want to do a video at E3.
Yeah.
And Jim, I don't know what you want to do to this, but I think you are perfect for that song that goes. Ow. Oh. Oh. You know it?
Nope.
You don't know that song? Oh, please look it up. I think it's called Owl. You'd be perfect for that. So if people, actually, that's something I could ask the Podtoid people that won't necessarily be disturbing and or about me for a change. What do you think Jim should do at E3 to that song? Look it up.
I know exactly what they're going to say, Jonathan.
What are they going to say?
They're going to say that I should fuck you. You haven't thought this through. It all comes back. All roads lead to Holmes's anus. We all know this. Everybody knows. It'll just be ow, and on every ow, I'm just like sticking it in you even more, getting it right up you.
Oh,
Everybody knows that. Oh, Holmes, you silly.
I really don't. Yeah,
squirrel. You are a silly squirrel.
That's how it works.
That is how it works.
My
Yeah.
butt is what people want. Have sex with? I guess so.
Yeah, like moths to a flame.
So, other than that, please send us your suggestions.
Yeah, real suggestions if you want, or just say that, whatever you want. We're not going to.
No, because we can't do that.
We can't actually do that in a video.
I mean, we could do. They could do it, but
Well,
they just can't show it on YouTube.
Well, not hardcore. No. We could do a Red Shoe Diaries, Shannon Tweed type, safe for network television type thing.
Sure.
Like the sex scene from The Terminator. It was romantic. It was a beautiful thing.
Michael Biehn and what's her name again? Linda Hamilton.
Linda Hamilton. Yeah. It would have been more romantic if they'd have done that scene to
It's a really funny song. It's a very good song. Yeah.
And if it was sung by the Terminator while they were doing it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I wonder, are they making more Terminators, or are they done with that?
Terminator. They're working on a new one.
Huh.
They're trying to make one happen. I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger do movies now, so like.
Oh, that's right.
He's in the Expendables too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see that trailer?
Yeah.
Stuff.
I've only ever walked out of one movie at the movie theater, and it was Terminator Salvation. It didn't help that there was a bunch of teenagers in there texting and running around and generally ruining my life.
Oh, that's horrible. That's why I try to avoid movie theaters. I waited like 5 days to watch Avengers. I finally watched it yesterday. It was fucking amazing.
Is it? I haven't seen it yet.
It was so goddamn good.
We always wait. Like, we wait till the movie's nearly gone from the theater, and then we'll go see stuff. Like, we watched Cabin in the Woods only recently, and we watched The Raven on Sunday. Like,
how was that?
It was okay. It was alright. Yeah, it was. It wasn't brilliant, but it was a fun little. It was quite amusing. I'll be watching Avengers, if not next week, the week after. I think the only one I would go to a launch to is Prometheus. I think a whole bunch of the Mississippi atheists, all three of us, going down to see Prometheus. What was I going to say though? Oh yeah, Terminator Salvation. Only movie I ever walked out of. It was fucking Drek.
Huh.
And I like Terminators. It had lots of Terminator skeletons in it, and I like Terminator skeletons usually.
I'd assume the more you like Terminator, the more you were going to be disappointed with that movie. I heard it was the worst movie ever made and didn't see it till it came on TV later. And then I was like, it was all right. It was like
Salvation?
a bad TV show. Yeah, it was okay.
I feel like Terminator 3 was worse.
I like Terminator 3 a little bit. It's got some
Did you
terrible
like it
parts.
because it had a hot, naked female Terminator there?
No, I like the scene where Arnold Schwarzenegger buys chips and the music's like, he's a monkey man. You know that part?
I don't remember that part.
It's a good part, man. You should watch it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I have the worst taste.
The TV series was so fucking good, though.
I liked a bunch of episodes of it, then it really fell off. The last episode is really dreadful of the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Well, I think they just rushed it because they had to wrap it up. And
they just ran out of money and time. Yeah, but there's some good episodes of that too. Yeah, it's Terminator. I don't take it that seriously, so I guess my expectations aren't that high. First one's great. Second one is it's a thing that I like, but I think it's kind of dumb in a lot of ways.
What?
The third one's it's dumb. It's kind of dumb.
Amazing.
The second, it is amazing, and it's kind of dumb.
Oh no! I'm not gonna fall into your trap. Your perverse.
That is the most perverted thing anyone's ever said on Podtoid, John.
Yeah. That Terminator 2 is kind of dumb sometimes. He gives the thumbs up while he's melting in the lava.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I know why you'll cry. It's kind of, a robot with feelings. It's a little, I don't know. Maybe robots have feelings. You're right, but compared to the first one, I don't like the second one as much. First one, I can just watch that movie 10 times in a row and have a great time. It's a great movie. Yeah. All right. What do you guys want? I'm sorry. Why am I?
Linda Hamilton turns into a skeleton in it, so
Which one?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right, because of the explosion.
Yeah.
I think it was last week, Jim, that you were talking. Were you talking about me getting all of my skin blown off or something, and being a talking skeleton? Was that you?
No, that sounds like no. Who have you been talking to?
There's another guy I know, I guess.
Stop talking to him.
Just any other guy.
He's not good for you.
Are you sure you weren't talking about, just shaving off all my skin and bone or no? Okay.
No, I mean, it sounds like a good idea.
I was going to be alive still somehow and live to see, and I wouldn't have lips, but I'd have a tongue, so I could kind of be like, I think it's a good idea, John. You can do that. Kind of like how Darkman talks. Yeah, I could have sworn that was you. I wonder who I was talking to then.
We should remake Darkman.
That would be great.
I will be Durant, and I'll be all like, I'm Durant, right? And we'll get some acid and just throw that in your face. In real life, so that it's convincing.
Well, we don't have a budget, so...
Yeah, so we'll have to actually scar your face up. And while it's scarred, hey, might as well shove some twigs in there. Every cloud has a silver lining, Jonathan. We can make Darkman and be Cenobites.
I wonder if it would be worth it if I could get millions of dollars off the new Darkman, if all I had to do was throw acid in my face and shove twigs into my cheeks. Whether that would be something to think about.
No, that would not be worth it. What is wrong with you?
You never know. I mean, you only live once.
You know.
There's only one way to find out.
Podtoid is one of those shows where ideas seem plausible while you're saying them, and then, later they... Well, Hamza, like you said, you're not fully with us yet. You will be. You will soon.
The day I die.
Soon you'll be hearing about shaving your skin off and being a living skeleton, and you'll think seems legit.
all your internal organs would still be. You don't need a lot of your skin. I could have sworn you said all this stuff. Jim. I'm not even making this up. This is like a quote from something. I thought you. No.
No!
I just dream all this?
I don't remember ever saying anything about you being a living skeleton. I think
you were really enthused about it in my imagination.
I mean, I am enthused about it now.
Huh. I haven't been sleeping much lately. Maybe that's my problem. I don't know. You know what part of Darkman I really like? This is not entertaining or interesting, but I just can't help but think about it. There's a part towards the end of Darkman when Darkman is hanging... from a girder, and there's just a businessman yelling at him, because the real villain of that movie is just a businessman. He says, thinking about killing me, aren't you? You can't. The way he says you can't is so good. Oh, God, I want to watch that again today, right now.
It's, what's his face? Drake something, isn't it?
Yeah, really, really.
I love him. He's a great actor.
He really turns it up just enough beyond reality to make it fun, but not so far that it's distracting. Just right. Just amount of
just
weirdness.
Right. Talking about movies.
Mm-hmm.
I've got an idea for an actor. His name's Willem Dafoe.
Oh, right. All right.
I've got a great idea for a movie he could be in. Shut up, Hamza. This is a popular section of the show.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm Hamza.
We talked about video games for a good 20 minutes.
Whatever,
week.
talk about your
game. No. Let's have the Hamza section.
That is
What are
it
you?
is quite a turnaround. It is hard to just.
What you bringing to the table? Let's
No,
hear
no,
it.
no, no, no.
No.
Let's
Let's
talk
hear it,
about your-
Munkus. Come on,
people-
Munkusburger. Let's hear it.
People love your William Dafoe pitches, so I'm not gonna. Whatever.
William
Keep
Dafoe.
talking. Whatever.
It is Willem. Yeah, Willem Dafoe. Is he going to be in the new Spider-Man?
No.
I don't think so.
Oh, that's a different actor. He looks like him though.
They should. This Spider-Man reboot. Anyway,
Oh, it looks cool.
okay. Jim, what do you want to do?
What's
about
your issue with Spider-Man? The new reboot.
It looks all right. I'm gonna like I was saying about Dead Space. I'm gonna try to forget what I already like and what my value set is.
Oh, because of the last trilogy.
Yeah, I like the Sam Raimi ones a lot, and these ones, other than the part where Spider-Man makes a pretty good joke about a guy having a small knife, everything about it.
Trailer?
I think that's the latest one where a mugger pulls a knife on him and he goes, "Oh,
Yeah.
you found my weakness, very small knives." That joke was good. But everything else, I'm just like, I don't want to watch that. I'm just comparing it to the Spider-Man movies I like in my mind the whole time, and it's not as good. Maybe.
The only thing that pisses me off is the guy who was set up to be the lizard in the Sam Raimi trilogy.
It was so awesome.
He's the fucking guy. He was one of the villain characters from Trick or Treat, which is like one of my favorite films.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of upset that he, has not been able to do that.
They kept
And he was
building it
really
up,
excited
and
about it.
yeah.
For years they'd interview him. He's like, "I'm going to get my movie soon." They're saying maybe the next one. Finally get to do some stuff. Kurt Connors,
they fucked up 3. There were a lot of things wrong with 3 that ended up hurting the series overall, and Sam left it.
Yeah. He didn't really want to even do 3, apparently. But anyway, we're talking about movies.
Yeah, sorry, Willem
about
Dafoe. Let's talk about your Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, what's your pitch, Jim? I'm interested.
I'm glad someone is. Thank you, John.
Very interested. No,
Thank you very much, Jonathan.
No,
Yeah, you guys. I'm gonna go piss. You guys.
Yeah, good. Yeah, fuck off.
Sit down when you piss.
He's a mean... He's a mean-spirited viper. You're a mean-spirited viper, Hamza. If you can hear me, I want you to think about that while you're pissing.
I'm still listening to you. I'm still taking a piss at the same time.
Wow, he's really doing it. He's really pissing on the show.
Good.
Yeah, Hamza. I love Hamza's honesty. It's
I don't.
He can't. It's great. He can't avoid it. I've seen him try to be fake nice every once in a while when he really has to, and he can't do it. He's just genuine to the bone. It's a great thing about him.
Yeah.
And he's really nice.
Whatever.
What is true? You're genuine to the bone, and when you're nice, you really, really mean it. So it means a lot. You're like Han Solo. Chicks dig you. Whereas me, they're like, "Oh, he's probably just pretending to be nice because where people don't know what to believe me when I'm nice." But when Hamza's
fucking Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, let's talk about Willem Dafoe. You're right. I shouldn't talk about Hamza so much. It makes him feel weird.
Willem Dafoe plays Hamza Aziz. That was a good one.
That was good.
Yeah.
Good thing. Yeah.
But Willem Dafoe is the cure for cancer.
What?
In
Just him?
And he has developed revolutionary surgery in order to... His body is literally the cancer antibody.
Just his body? Just his physical body? How do you get the Dafoe that you need to get rid of your tumors and stuff?
I'm glad you
He's gonna
asked.
say his penis.
Huh?
I bet you're gonna say his penis.
Not quite. You're in the right ballpark. In order for in order for Willem Dafoe to cure cancer, the patient has to pull down their trousers and pants. He has to grab the end of their penis and pull it open and climb inside it. All the while, he has to stick his head in and go like that and crawl into their penis and come out of their arsehole.
Whoa.
And,
what about for women?
And you know how... Don't worry, we're getting there. And you know how, when you put a pipe cleaner in a pipe and it just kind of bungs everything out? He comes out... Willem Dafoe comes out of their anus covered in cancer. And then he just shakes...
It's like the Green Mile. It's like it's kind of like the Green Mile.
He is kind of like the Green Mile. And he shakes it all off like a wet dog. and it just hits the walls and everything, and they they scrape it off, put it in a bucket, and put it in a big, like, you know, the big ghost prison in Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah, the containment center.
Yeah, that, but for cancer. And they put it all in there. And Willem Dafoe has like a floating cancer friend that eats everything, like a big tumor. That's his Slimer. He eats everything. So he crawls into penises, comes out the arse covered in cancer, shakes it off. They put it in a ghost trap prison for cancer. He is a world-renowned and famous doctor. Now, I know Hamza said, what if you're a woman? That, in the movie, is never addressed. I figured that was the easiest way to get around it.
But women have pee holes too. He could just go in. I mean, it's their holes aren't that much smaller than a man's pee holes. I mean, he can fit in a man's pee hole. He could find
it has to go through the penis. They actually ask him. They say, "Can you just go in through anywhere, like the ear or the mouth?" And he goes, "No, it has to be through the penis. I gotta crawl. I split the penis through the little bit at the top. And I go into the central dorsal shaft and crawl up through the tubes. I haven't done the science. I will admit that.
I hate to usurp your Willem Dafoe impersonation, but I'm picturing him with that big smile. You know, he has that like I hate to use the term, but shit-eating grin sometimes.
Oh, he's very proud of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm picturing him on the talk show being like, "No, it has to be through the penis."
He would be pleased. The guy's the cure for cancer. He's like,
right. He's a doctor.
He's thrilled. He even has one of those, like, the big circular things around his forehead that doctors have, and a lab coat so everyone knows it's legit. And he's got one. And he's like, I crawl up into the penis, and then I curl up into a little ball, and I just spin around like a hedgehog, and then stick my fingers through the rectum and the anus, and pull it open, and I fall out covered in black, oily cancer, and I shake it off like a dog. And then they put it in a big tank, like the prison in Ghostbusters.
Do they use like a trap from Ghostbusters, or just a bucket?
Just a bucket, and they just dump it in it's essentially a bigger bucket with a lid. And
some of the cancer is alive and is like a slimy purple ghost.
This is like I'm trying to go for medical authenticity. So the cancer is screaming, like it hits the walls and it's just going, "Oh, I am cancer!" Like that.
Such a terrifying idea.
And they put it all in a bucket, and the bucket shakes around, and it goes, "You'll never stop us!" And they say, "Oh yeah, we're gonna put you in a bigger bucket." And they put them in the bigger bucket, and the cancer goes in and goes, like it slops out like dog food, and it just, "Oh fuck!" Like that. And he goes in, and then Willem Dafoe like claps his hands together, like dusting them off, and says, "Another job well done for cancer," like that. But there is an element of conflict. It's not just 2 hours of Willem Dafoe crawling into penises and coming out of.
Yeah, I'd expect that's only the first hour.
It's only hour 15 minutes.
Okay.
There is an element of tension because he has a rival, which is the chief of police, which is played by Brendan Fraser.
He's such a bland actor. You always choose him, and he literally has no personality to be found.
Oh, please.
I like him in The Mummy.
He's fine. He's bland. He's just a Nathan E. Drake type
that's the only
mummy guy.
movie I liked.
All right then. All right.
He's all right in Encino Man.
All right,
yeah?
fine. Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh, good. I've been thinking about Weird Al.
Okay, so Al Yankovic is the corrupt chief of police who has been, for years, he has been waiting to get Willem Dafoe for this. And he says that. He says, "I'm going to get..." I can't do his voice.
You're doing it fine.
I'm going to get that Willem Dafoe for this. I think that's what Weird Al sounds like. I'm going to put him in the jail. So he's really pissed off.
What is he getting him for? What crime did he commit? He's just curing cancer.
He committed the crime of making Weird Al jealous.
So he's a very corrupt cop. He's
Oh yeah, because for years, Weird Al was the cure for whooping cough, And of course,
How did he do that? How did he cure a whooping cough?
he sucked it out of their penis. Anyway.
Oh boy.
Anyway, right? A
Yeah.
sick little boy comes in. Right? I don't know who
Mhm.
boy actors are anymore. Haley Joel Osment is probably grown up, isn't he?
Yeah, he's like 19 now.
Okay, well, Nicolas Cage plays this 8-year-old boy who has, like, cancer of the face.
Okay, face cancer.
Yeah, and Willem Dafoe is like, well, I gotta save this kid. But then Weird Al Yankovic turns up and says, I don't think you'll be doing that. Because you see, if you touch that 8-year-old boy's penis, that, my friend, is paedophilia. And I'll arrest you in the name of the law, Sonny Jim, you prick.
Wow, he's got a point. That is an interesting twist.
So the problem is Willem Dafoe is faced with a dilemma.
Mm.
Either he cures the boy of cancer and goes to jail for being a dirty boy, or he lets the boy die and walks free so he can keep curing the world. And he says, I'm faced with a moral dilemma here. He says that to his... he says that to his friend, who is played by Ryan Daniels.
Who's Ryan Daniels?
Or whoever it was who played the Green Lantern.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds, yeah.
Ryan Reynolds.
What? They're friends? How would they even... They would... He's... Wow. Okay, yeah. Please continue.
He's his friend.
How would they ever meet, and what would they like about each other?
Well, he's not... It's not Ryan Reynolds, the actor. He's playing...
okay. He's just playing...
He's playing Dracula.
Acting. Okay. He's Dracula?
Ryan Reynolds is Willem Dafoe's friend, Dracula. Dracula,
the
right?
vampire, the famous Vlad the Impaler, that Dracula.
No. Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And so he says, "Hey, Dracula, I'm in a moral dilemma here. I gotta cure this kid." But he's sounding like the dog from Top Jack.
He sounds good. Yeah.
Hey, don't you wake up, my boy. You keep chasing that fucking mouse around here, I'll cut your fucking throat out. Tom, you dirty boy. Anyway, I'm gonna moral dilemma if I did it. Pedophilia, I can cure the world. And the movie is a heartwarming tale of one man's decision whether to sacrifice his freedom for the life of an 8-year-old Nicolas Cage or go to jail for pedophilia. Because Weird Al Yankovic is jealous.
Just point of clarification: have they euthanized? No, that's not the right word. That's when you kill people. Have they caused Nicolas Cage to look like a youth via like the little man technology?
Yeah. Yeah, he's wearing a T-shirt that says Cowabunga on it.
So they haven't used sophisticated CGI to make his face on like 8-year-old's body.
Oh, well,
it's just Nicolas Cage.
You'd
want to be
I can't afford CGI. Maybe I'll cut out like a kid's... I'll draw a kid's face on cardboard and put string around it, and that could be a mask, and people won't know the difference.
That might work, yeah.
The original Star Wars was all done with animatronics. So
true, puppets and stuff.
Cardboard masks should work.
So he's the kid.
Yeah, people don't care about the special effects when they're listening to the story.
Right, they're totally enraptured with the tale.
So, I don't want to spoil what happens because people will have to go to the movie theatre to see the ultimate decision Willem Dafoe makes and whether he takes the final sacrifice. And I call this movie... Are you still there? I'm saying,
I'm listening.
Skype's saying there are problems with the call.
No, I'm totally here.
Okay, well, I call this movie Patch Adams 2, Is It Pedophilia or Not?
The Patch Adams fan base, which is millions wide, when they just go to Blockbuster and like, I'm just going to rent something. I don't know. Patch Adams, I guess. Patch Adams 2, sure. And they get that as opposed to a rambunctious, lovable scamp of a doctor who just wants to make them laugh. They get Willem Dafoe covered in cancer?
Covered in oily, moaning cancer.
Yeah, wow. That is a true nightmare world.
That's not too bad.
There are these doctors called pediatricians, and they are allowed to touch a boy's penis if it is to cure him from cancer. So there's not, as long as you're not doing it for sexual reasons near a doctor, you know, if you're an oncologist, which is a cancer doctor, and I almost said pedophile, but I can't even think of the word. I just said it. But what's the word for
Pediatrician.
That's it. Thank you. I kept thinking podiatrist or a foot doctor. Anyway, so there is a easy way around this moral dilemma. He just has to say, "Oh, I'm a doctor. I'm going to cure him of cancer."
No, but I didn't mention though, did I?
No.
This movie is set in the year 2013.
Oh, things have changed.
A dystopian future where things have changed. Literally everything is pretty much the same except for anything that gets in the way of my story.
Right.
So this is set in the fictional city of Old York because it's in the future. And in Old York, the rule is if you touch a boy's penis for any reason,
you're going to jail.
Yeah, even if it's caught on like a barbed wire fence or it's in a dog's mouth. Not only will the dog go to jail for pedophilia, for biting the boy's penis, you will go to jail for putting your hand near the penis to get the jaws off.
Wow, that's an interesting.
It's a chilling vision of where mankind's headed.
Sure, I'd assume there was some big problem where the president's penis was touched or something like that, so he passed a new law, or there must have been some scandal to bring upon that.
That's going to be explained in the prequel novelization.
Oh, only in book form.
Yeah, I mean, if you want the full story of the Patch Adams 2 mythos, you have to get the novel, the associated comic books, and each action figure is going to come with a battle card that explains a bit of the backstory of that character. So whether it's Dr. William Patch Adams Dafoe, Weird Al Yankovic, I was trying to come up with a different name and I just said his name, or Dracula. You'll find out more about them. Like if you don't get the Dracula Ryan Reynolds action figure with the battle card, you won't know why Dracula is in Old York.
That's exciting. I want to know the whole story, and I can't help but want to guess as to how it turns out.
Yeah.
I can't help but imagine that what I would do if I were Patch Adams is I would probably
Patch Adams 2.
I'm sorry.
The character's name is Patch Adams 2.
If I were Patch Adams 2, I would probably release all the cancer, like how what's his name? The red-haired guy who's a good character actor in Ghostbusters. His name is like Dick something. Dick Dix maybe.
Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke.
Dix Van Dyke from Ghostbusters 1.
Dick.
How he just opens the trap and lets all the ghosts out, and then it's magic. It's magic someplace.
That could actually be in the sequel, Patch Adams 2 too. Escape from Old York, brackets cancer.
That's what I would imagine would happen. I love a big disaster problem where all the things get let loose. That's my favorite part of Ghostbusters. That's my favorite part of Cabin in the Woods, too. Patch Adams, too.
Get patchier.
Yeah. So it's going to be a big franchise, I think. The whole Patch Adams 2. I mean, this is going to be my legacy. There's talk. I'm talking with Games Workshop about possibly doing a tabletop battle game based on it. Like, you know, the forces of Patch... Yeah, like the forces of Patch Adam 2 versus the forces of Cancer.
I'd buy it.
And maybe you get a third faction in there for Weird Al Yankovic's police force. Who wear masks. They wear gas masks with pig snouts and pig ears, which is a satirical statement on the brutal police force of America.
Oh, the cops.
Based on Animal Farm.
Yeah. They're actually called the Animal Farm cops.
Well, you bring up a point, Jim, that in my dreams, you know how Peter Molyneux, not Peter Molyneux, but the fake Peter Molyneux had his own game jam where people came together and made games based off his tweets. I wish that would happen for your Willem Dafoe ideas. People could have a game jam where they make games based off of Patch Adams 2.
Hey, Jim, you know what you should do? You should find the creator of Heavy Rain and pitch him your fucking ideas.
Yeah, man. These would make really entertaining video games. I bet Suited 51 would like them. Sweary 65 would
No. It has to be the Heavy Rain creator. He'd love it.
I don't. Does he? If he knows who Jim is, he probably is.
Oh, he knows who I am, and he dislikes me. I'm pretty sure.
That was what I was guessing.
I think one of my favorite like D-Toy stories is what's the guy's name? The creator of Everett?
David Cage.
That's
David
right.
Cage like sat down with Nick Chester once and like asked Nick Chester why like Jim hates him or why we gave the game such a bad score or some bullshit like that. Like, why couldn't you see how artistic my game was? Is essentially what it boiled down to.
Oh yeah, he sat down with Nick. It was shortly after the review went up, and he was like, "But can't you see what we are doing for the industry? See how high its scores got on Metacritic."
Didn't you give it like a 7 too?
He actually doesn't say. It would be more like, "I got this game on Metacritic. It is rather good. We are changing the industry forever." And he sat Nick down and was basically telling him how influential Heavy Rain is because of Metacritic, and I should have scored it higher.
Wow.
And Nick had to tell him, like, well, this was Jim's opinion.
Right. Yeah, and Nick kind of agreed with you on the review, as I recall. He was like,
Yeah, it was one of the few reviews, actually, where we saw eye to eye. So that double makes it true.
Nick Chester. I like that, Nick
So
Chester.
you're right, I should pitch all of my ideas to David Cage. I think he'd like it.
I'd love it
You
if
should create
did.
like a fake David Cage account, just like Peter Molyneux.
Oh, that's a good idea. David, I can't think of a good joke for Cage.
David
Trap.
Bad at writing
Jail.
games.
David Jail.
David Jail.
Aye.
Jokes.
Oh, man.
Really bad.
We
jokes.
have
That's
questions.
basically what Pod. Oh, we have questions.
I tweeted out. This
Okay,
is what
good.
I sometimes do when there's no.
Oh, yeah, Holmes saves us.
I try
That's
to do
good.
that.
I thought I should do that, but then I just
Yeah, you
Did
can
it.
do that too. I selfishly like to interact with my Twitter followers by
that's
asking them
selfish.
something they actually want to talk
Yeah,
about.
that's
Well,
really
you think
selfish.
I like them, and this is an excuse to see what they're thinking.
That's sarcasm. That's not selfish.
Oh, it's not. Oh, sorry. I thought I was being selfish.
Yes, apologize.
Can't help it. I feel bad about things. Should I do some questions? Are you guys interested in a few?
Hey, do it, man.
Okay. Let's see. Reese Walton says, "What are your thoughts on devs announcing games for next-gen consoles? Personally, I think it's too early."
Sorry.
Yeah,
It's
he's
just-
right. It is
I
too
always
early.
laugh when it comes back to games after an hour of not. It reminds
That was about an hour.
I
Yeah.
suddenly remember what the podcast is.
People think of it as a video games podcast. Yeah, that's
Those
how they think of it.
suckers.
I bet they remember the video game parts. It's all about memory, Like you can act like a complete dick all night on a date, but if the person you're on a date with only actually pays attention to you when you're being great, and the rest of the time they're just thinking about other things or being self-conscious, then they'll love you. Something I've noticed in life. Anyway, it's
Dating advice from Jonathan Holmes, everyone.
I have dated a lot of
Basically,
people.
just say you
believe it or
can punch your date, and it's okay. We'll still want to do.
I've made some terrible dating mistakes. I once wanted to do a comedy parody R&B song about anal sex, and I told my date about it, and she was so repulsed and disgusted. I thought I'd never see her again, but luckily I said other stuff that was even more mentally.
Obviously, she wasn't into anal.
No, I'm not into anal either. I don't really get it. I'm like the butt.
Oh, don't worry, you'll be getting plenty of anal.
Figure you'd say that. And that was kind of the point of my R&B song, was that anal sex is kind of a mystery to me. But anyway,
Dude,
enough about that.
Reader question.
That whole thing sounds like an attempted pickup. It's like, you don't tell a date, I don't get this anal sex thing.
Tell me about
Try
it.
it so we can
Yeah.
figure it out.
Man, I can't even count how many times I've had that conversation on a date. I'm not kidding. I can think of at least 6 or 7 women who I've been like, so tell me about anal. Why? Why does that happen? I don't really have an answer for this guy's question because I can't think of any next gen consoles. Some people count the Wii U as next gen. I don't. I think it's kind
Going
of.
back to the very beginning of our video game podcast, talking about
Mhm.
EA's investor stuff. They said they're investing $80 million or so into next gen development.
Huh. Interesting.
And it's slowly starting to pick up. That other companies have mentioned things here and there. I think Unreal, their next engine is going to be next gen specific, I believe. Something like that.
Makes sense. Sure. I'm with Warren Spector in general. Warren Spector had a pretty interesting interview lately where he said that he doesn't think about hardware. He's kind of sad about Microsoft and Sony rolling out with new hardware in the next couple of years because he expects that it's going to cause game development costs to go up by 2 or 3 times what they already are now, and it can cost you, $100 million to make a game now. So he thinks it's going to be 300 or 400 million, and you're only going to be able to survive in the industry.
Well, I don't think it'll ever go that far. That's suicide. That would be suicide for the industry.
The trouble is like it's suicidal now for a lot of studios. Yeah. I mean, you make a game like LA Noire, which becomes critically and commercially like ridiculously successful, and then go bankrupt.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. Like Eat Sleep Play, before Twisted Metal was even out, they were having layoffs and downsizing, and now they do iOS games. It's ridiculous. This industry is broken to the point where I'm surprised it still functions as it does. It shouldn't. It shouldn't function how it does. It's a, I hesitate to use the word miracle, but it's improbable that it does. And for us to bring new hardware forward, I don't think it's going to end well for a lot of people.
Yeah. I contrary to what a lot of people say, I don't think the Wii U is going to be as big as the Wii was. I think it'll be kind of how the Super Nintendo was to the NES. It'll be like, oh yeah, it did well. It's not in everybody's home, but it'll get there. Yeah, the Wii U is going to do pretty well.
No, I thought the Super Nintendo was great. I thought I did well.
It was great. It wasn't as successful as
I think the better analogy here is like Super Nintendo to N64, if anything.
Oh no, I don't think it's going to be that harsh of a drop off. Like the NES was, I think it was like 90 million or something install base.
Okay, no, I see what you're saying now.
Yeah,
okay,
I'm talking about install base.
As opposed to,
like quality. I can't speak to the thing's quality yet. I've just played those demos from last year, so.
Yeah, those fucking tech demos.
The hide and seek one was fun, Hamza. Oh, and the Metroid one was fun too. Anyway,
Metroid one.
It was a Metroid themed kind of arena shooting game where.
Oh right, I played that.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. It was took a little while to get used to, but most games that are good do. You just don't instantly get good at them. Anyway, I guess we answered that question, unless you guys have more to it. Anything more?
I'm waiting for Find Me to become the big game changer here.
You guy. You're a guy.
I'm looking forward to actually finally getting like decent hands-on with the Wii U next month and seeing not real games, but actual games that will show us the benefit of what the Wii U can be, basically.
Yeah, I think I already see the benefit, but I want to see just the games.
And the concept's there. I want to see it in action.
Yeah, and I just want the games. I just want new Nintendo games. I don't really care what console they're on at this point. Sophia, also known as Slime Girl, asks if you can bring back any old dead franchise with a Kickstarter funding the original developers, what would it be?
None. I'm sick of Kickstarter.
I know Kickstarter it's just mentally exhausting to try to catalog and keep track of all the different things going on in Kickstarter all the time, and so many of them are just it's just, I don't want to say rude, but
it is like, hey, look at this really pretty drawing I did. Wouldn't it be great if I turned it into a real game?
It's asking way too much of us to have that much faith in some of these people. I mean,
some of them you can, like, I guess Republic is a good example because it's Brian Payton. He knows what the fuck he's doing. He worked on Metal Gear Solid 4. He was on the Halo 4 development team. Like, he's got good experience in the industry. Like, I'm looking forward to see what that happens with that. If it actually makes it through, though, which is the funny part, because it doesn't look like it's actually going to happen, I think. He has like 3 more days to meet the Kickstarter goal.
Unless Notch rolls in and gives him the rest of the money, that's not going to happen. And I'm cut up about it because I really like Ryan Payton and the game looks really promising, but I think they're going to have to fund that elsewhere, which is sad.
Yeah, it is. Out of all the Kickstarters that are successful, it's sad that one. Yeah, I can't think of I don't know, Strider. I want a new Strider, but not necessarily via Kickstarter. I'd want a new Blaster Master, but Victor Ireland is still working on those. He's a neat guy. Nothing really comes to mind. Jim, you got anything?
No.
The funny thing is, everything that I've seen on Kickstarter, none of it has appealed to me at all. All the things everyone's getting hyped up over like the Double Fine game, and Carmageddon was just revealed today on a Kickstarter. I was like, I don't give a fuck
I
about
didn't know
any of
that.
these games.
Carmageddon?
Yeah,
Really?
dude. Yeah.
Wow,
It's
I didn't
coming
think
back.
anyone would want more. That was just before you had other games where you could just drive around and run things over. It was, something different at the time, but what could that possibly? All right. Well, yeah. Someone, Carl or Reaper, just wants to know that just wants Hamza to know that you have a beautiful voice. He says.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
Yeah, isn't that nice,
I'm
Hamza?
really like I'm paranoid about my voice. How it
No, your
sounds
voice is
over
great, man.
recordings and stuff. So
No,
like,
it sounds
wow,
good.
thank you.
You've got a kind of a I don't want to say a drawl, but you've got a style and it can get intense.
I think
Or
it
well, I
sounds too
won't.
nasally. Like,
No, I don't think so.
I like
No.
video games.
No, not too nasally. Let me scan through some more of these questions. What's a game where the ending provoked emotion? Asks Ty Davis. Klonoa. I don't know if you guys played Klonoa. That provoked emotion in me. The ending. And
Wow, Lona, the like the panda looking mascot character, right?
yeah, from Namco. It was a PS1
Panda-ish.
game, and then they remade it for the Wii, and nobody bought it, but it was good. Yeah, you think, oh, it's a happy fairy tale game, and it's a platformer. It's not really about story, and then you get to the end, and then it's just like, I thought you were real, but you're not, so you're gonna die. And you're like, oh, I thought I was real too. Nope, you're gonna die now, and then the main character just dies. Bum me out.
I don't have emotions, so I can't answer this question.
How about you, Jim? You get sad at the end of a game?
I always get, which is funny because I was never fully invested in the story, but I always get a little misty-eyed at the end of Final Fantasy X.
Oh yeah, I still haven't beaten that one.
Just that moment. Oh well, I won't.
Oh, I know stuff happens. Doesn't Titus die and stuff like that? Yeah, I know all about it. It's fine.
There's a bit when he high fives another character, and just at that moment, it's a really like precious little moment. Which is,
really
and like I say, I mean, I wasn't that invested in the story, but it was just such a well done ending that it was pretty good. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess it's fucking passe now to mention Snake Eater, but that ending was obviously a very, very memorable one. The
Yeah.
whole, not only the bit where you do the shooty bit, but that last line about just as he salutes the gravestone, just a beautiful moment. It's still like, get chills thinking about that. That's good stuff.
Yeah, the whole
I
thing's
guess
great.
only one I can think of at the top of my head right now is Oddworld. That just the whole from beginning to end, like that whole concept is just really fucked up.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's saving his people from being turned into food. Essentially, it's like
Yeah, their lips are sewn shut and stuff. It's a pretty dark game, but since he's smiling at you, people just kind of took it as cute fun.
yeah. Initially, you take it as cute fun at face value, but then you actually dive into it. It's like holy shit, this
Yeah.
is dark.
Yeah, I hope that series comes back. That's the one.
That's Kickstarter. There you go.
Kickstart that one.
No
Yes.
need.
They're doing one?
They don't need Kickstarter. They're rolling. They've
Also.
they got the HD ones coming out.
I thought that came out. Oh, no, that's still in the works.
I think the HD Stranger's Wrath has come out.
Okay.
Then they're doing the other Oddworlds, the Abe ones. Then they've got Hand of Odd coming out, which I still remember reading about in magazines when I was in school.
Yeah, I know.
The simulation strategy game.
That's
I'm really excited to see it. I don't know what they're going to do. They said it's not going to be like Farmville, which makes me happy.
good.
But I'm intrigued to see what they do because I have been interested in Hand of Odd since I must have been about 15. So
God, the Oddworld series is supposed to be so big too. When they first announced it for the Xbox, they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna make this one, and then we're gonna make 9 more games." And then like they made 2.
The thing is, they betrayed their own idea with the second game because it was going to be 9 very different games about 9 very different characters. But the second game they made was just a direct sequel to Abe's Odyssey when it was going to be like someone else's Odyssey.
But the third one was Monk's Odyssey or something.
Munch. Then they got Munch. Then they had Stranger's Wrath. They were going to have Hand of Odd, and then it just all went to shit.
Yeah.
Was it? Wait, Strangers. Was that what it was called? Strangers Wrath?
Yeah.
That sounds like a different title.
No.
I think that's right. He had a hat on, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's
was
kind of
a
like a
fun one,
bounty
though.
hunter.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Oh, you're right.
I-
It is Stranger's Wrath. Anyway.
You know what I really want? This is kind of separate. I want all the really good Capcom PSP games to come to consoles that people actually buy them on, like Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins and Mega Man Powered Up. They're just on the wrong console, but I'd love to see those on XBLA or PSN or
That would be
3DS. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
know.
no one's
Tell a
gonna-
lie. I know what I'd like to come back.
What?
Medieval 3.
Oh, I knew you were
fuck
gonna say
yeah.
that. Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
good
I'm
one.
down.
I think I wrote like a post on Destructoid that was just me ordering Sony to make Medieval 3.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a good one. Yeah, someone, Souls is his name. Looks like he has a Deadpool avatar, I think, or a Deadpool toy. Says, "What's your favorite Pokemon?" Also, does Jim Sterling want a Street Shark toy for free? Jim, would you like a Street Shark toy for free, Jim?
Okay.
You're not going to say no to that, are you?
Well, it would be rude to say no to that.
All right,
I
will
had
let
a
him
Street
know.
Sharks toy once. I had a hammerhead shark, and it went missing. I think my brother stole it.
Weird. Maybe you're going to get it back. Maybe this is your brother.
Maybe it is. Maybe this is
Whoa.
his secret confession. That's a great idea for a Willem Dafoe movie about Willem Dafoe's brother steals his Street Shark.
Who would play Willem Dafoe's brother? I want more Danny DeVito, to be frank.
Yeah, but I've already got Brendan Fraser attached.
DeVito is way better than Fraser, in my opinion.
I know. That's
part of it.
That's part of the magic. Is the fact that I basically in any movie I make, I want the audience to think, man, this could have been better.
And that's what Brendan Fraser does for just about every movie. Yeah, that's that career he's having.
Yeah.
He's rich, so he probably isn't complaining. But do you guys have a favorite Pokemon? Is that even a good question? It's 646 now. It's hard to even keep track.
Well,
Well, I know what Jim's gonna say.
my Atkins aficionadoism.
It's still going strong?
It's well known, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's still Ekans. Good stuff. Hamza, you like those Pokemon?
I do. Well, I'm only really familiar with the first 151, so
That's fine.
just trying to think. I
It's
guess
hard. So many.
Mewtwo. I mean, that's such a bullshit cop out answer, but oh god. Okay, so I used to have fantasies about being in the Pokemon world when I was younger. Like, like I have like short stories, whatever. Shut the fuck up.
I didn't say
And
anything.
One of them was imagining like after Mewtwo died or whatever the fuck happened to him in the movie, like he like had like asexual sex with himself, so he produced offspring, whatever. I don't know how that would work.
This is amazing. Please keep talking.
Okay, I
Don't stop
didn't imagine this asexual part, but like that's the only way I could see it working out.
Right.
Is like he had a son, like an offspring, and like I was a trainer in the. Oh my god, why am
This
I
is
saying
great,
about
man.
that?
Please don't
I was a
stop.
trainer in the Pokemon world, and I found Mewtwo, and like I went around with a baby Mewtwo kicking ass.
That sounds great. Was it called Baby Mewtwo, or was it like Mew 3 and what?
That was
Yeah, of
just
course.
Mewtwo. It was gonna grow up to be like looking like how it looked in the movie.
I've just got this.
And
I
Ditto also was my other main Pokemon in
I
my
can't-
fantasy.
Oh,
I can't shake
interesting.
this image of a dead Mewtwo on its back. But yet its arms are still moving, and it's just sticking its own dick into its own vagina. And if someone would like to draw that,
I'm sure that's been drawn in some way
Yeah,
before. That is a
probably,
really
yeah.
phallic-looking tail. People, there's a lot of sexuality inserted into video games.
I wasn't trying to
Well,
make it
come on.
bisexual. It's just the only.
It's not your fault.
It.
Well, then
Mewtwo's
why did
tail-
you say this on Podtoid? That was your first mistake.
Oh,
Okay.
it's all right.
Also, my Ditto was badass because it wouldn't just like transform into like an exact carbon copy of the Pokemon. It would like be a special version, so it had more power and attack. Why can't Ditto like transform into a Venusaur and then use water gun?
I think that some Dittos can.
No, well, I mean like it should be able to like do whatever it wants.
You're using logic. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's technically not.
Okay.
There's it looks like the Pokemon on the outside. It takes the form of a Pokemon, but the internal organs of Ditto are still just that purple.
Out of
goo.
everything I've ever said on Podtoid in the last 4 episodes, this whole Pokemon talk is the most embarrassing.
No, it's great, man. People are gonna relate with you hard on all of that. I was too old for that stuff. I loved Pokemon when it came out, but I was like 20 when it came out. And I was like, oh, I love the character designs. I love turn-based RPGs that remind me of Earthbound. I'll play it. But I wasn't at the age where I was going to write, my own ideas
I
about
didn't
what.
write it. It was all in my head.
Oh, sure. Well, that's fine. Write it down.
I've got this image of Hamza just writing in a pink diary with his legs kicking in the air while he's on his front on a bed, just writing baby Mewtwo and me.
Aw, that's a great idea.
Riding on its back like in the never-ending story.
Yeah, and Ditto along the way. A shiny Ditto probably can take on the forms.
No, I didn't even know what shiny was before.
Yeah. Did they have shinies in the first one?
No, they didn't have shinies then.
That was silver gold. Yeah. Ditto's weird that people are just okay with that, right? I know it's probably been talked about to death, but it's just an amorphous purple blob that most people throw into a pen and then just ask other Pokemon to impregnate it. Male, female, just, rub against that and make me a child. It's pretty creepy. Ditto in general. That's
I never thought of it like that, but yeah, sure.
My Ditto is still at the old people's house, having God knows what happening to it. I just stop by and pick up eggs.
I'm assuming the old man who runs that breeding center is Joseph Fritzl.
It is like that. Your Ditto's having a good time here, and it's just locked up there. It's getting
Please leave your Ditto with me. I am the Joseph Fritzl of Pokemon.
It is a horrifying aspect, and but they package it in such a way you don't really think about it. Let's see. There's people asking us about G4. I don't think about G4 enough. Do you guys have an opinion now that Adam Sessler
I said earlier.
Yeah, you already talked about it. Sorry, I'd like to get that question, but what games do you guys love but people really hate? I don't know. That's hard. Lee Oliver asks, you guys have any games that you love that other people really hate?
I would have said Dynasty Warriors, but the more I've spoken about Dynasty Warriors over the years, the more I seem to have turned favour, to the point where when I did a Jimquisition all about Dynasty Warriors, and pretty much everyone on the Escapist agreed. So I think I've turned the tide. So
great. I don't know anyone that hates Dynasty Warriors. I know people who kind of like nothing it. They're like, oh, I don't really want to play that, but it's not bad. And then I know other people that really appreciate it. So yeah, that's a good one. It's
yeah.
Hamza, you got anything, Hamza?
No.
No? You like all the games that everyone likes, and you don't like anything that other people hate?
I can't think of any.
I can't think of any for you either. Huh.
For me? You're thinking for me?
I'm trying to think for you, because I know you. I'm trying to think what you like and that other people hate, but no, your tastes are right in line with a lot of popular games and unpopular games. But
I like Blood Rain.
People hate that.
The game is pretty shit, but I like it. Like objectively, I know it's like not cool to like. Like I don't mean that as in cool as in culturally wicked awesome. I mean it's not cool to like it. Genuinely, you're not a good person.
Right.
But I do have this kind of affection for it.
Yeah, they tried to make it something that you could say you like in mixed company and not be frowned at with the Way Forward game, which in theory was great, but
I hated that.
I guess you hated it.
Yeah, it has such potential. I was so hyped for it, and then it turned out the way it did. I was like,
I still haven't played much of it. I just like looking at it, and I don't really want to know that it might be not fun to play.
Yeah, it's so weird thinking a Way Forward game is not fun, actually, honestly.
Yeah.
Their Aliens game was fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah,
that I still need to play.
It's pretty damn good, and I like what I'm hearing about the other game they're working on, which we will get to talk about in a bit on Destructoid.
What? What do you know?
Was that hinting at exclusive?
Oh, Jim.
Ooh, snap.
Major exclusive.
Huh. Not the Adventure Time game, which we already talked about.
No, it's a Way Forward game that they're making at the moment that is announced, and the people know it exists. They know nothing about it.
Huh. I don't know it exists, I guess. Oh, well, I'll find out. I'm not going to be...
Yeah, it's Book of Memories.
Oh, yeah.
Right, you were talking about that. Okay, cool.
That was, yeah. I for some reason, I was hyping it as a mystery, and then I realized that was pointless and stupid.
That's their first Polygon-based game that I can think of, anyway. How is that going to turn out? That's interesting.
Who knows? But We've got all the details.
Oh, cool. I look forward to that.
Should be hell if I can pull it off. I'll hoping by the time this is out. I've just got to wait for Konami to be a publisher, which is going to be fun. So yeah, we'll see what goes on there. But that said, it's getting pretty late here.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, this is where we just hit like 2.5 hours here. So.
Oh, sorry, guys. I enjoy it. I just like hanging out. And
Yeah, it's all Jonathan Holmes' fault, everyone.
Yeah,
I should write that Adventure Time story unless someone else is doing it.
yeah, go for it.
No, I'll
Do
go
it.
do that. That'll be fun.
So
Podtoid, thanks for joining us.
well,
But I just-
Yeah, I guess
yeah.
we got to do our plugs.
We
do a
gotta
quick plug.
let people know what we're doing this week. If you go on Destructoid, there is a Minecraft 360 review up. I guess that's a big deal. I think that's all that I know that's happened. And then Jonathan Holmes, of course, has Sub Homes, which he does every
Yep.
Sunday.
I do Sup Homes every Sunday, and there's a guy who I don't know at all that Hamza introduced me to via email. And weirdly enough, Conrad knows him. Conrad used to work with him at GameStop or something, and he's a really interesting guy. Scott Walsh, is that his name? Do you remember, Hamza? You did introduce me to him. Yeah, is that right? I hope I'm getting his name right. Yeah, he's going to be on the show. He did some level design for the BioShock 2 DLC, so he's a big name guy in that regard. And he's also done a lot of indie games as well, and he's very opinionated about it. So you can hear from a guy. Most of the guys we've had on Sup Holmes have they've done some work in AAA, but for the most part, it's been smaller stuff. But this guy is definitely more on the AAA side, but he also has the indie side to him too. So that'll be great. Hoping to do a new Talking to Women about video games this week about growing up, whether video games need to grow up or not. I have a feature to go along with it too. So the video will be on YouTube, and the feature will be on Destructoid. Oh, I forgot to say Sup Holmes. That's Sunday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live streaming from Destructoid.com. And I think that's it. Yep. That's my pitch. Yep.
Yeah. You can watch Jimquisition at escapismagazine.com every Monday. I do stuff. I just talk about some shit. I don't know. You can also follow us on Twitter if you want. We got Hamza at CTZ, 3 letters. Jonathan Holmes at TronKnots, TronKnotts. And myself at Jim Sterling. Just Jim Sterling, all one block of text. You can subscribe to us on iTunes and write us reviews if you like. It's always helpful. You can get an app which delivers Podtoid to your Android device. That's on the Amazon.com marketplace. Don't get it anywhere else. And that's it. So thanks.
We did it.
Yeah,
Great
bye.
show, guys.
Yeah, get it.
Thanks.
Go away.
I hate all of you.
Stop listening.